All right. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening to everybody. My name is Parker. Thank you for joining us on the Ironman Podcast. We're going to go ahead and get started. So we're just going to go around introductions really quick. My name is Parker, or Solo Parker, Max Ironman front page, and leader of Erudite.
I'm Flower. I'm Lasby's friend, and I have the highest XP Ironman, who's not Max, with 73 prayer.
I'm Lelador. Everyone knows me, so...
Wow. Wow.
Arrogant work.
Okay, well, I'm also leader of Erudite, Iron Cup. Thank you.
I'm Aloe, #1 Red Bull addict.
I'm Vatti, 1 star in Erudite.
Apparently the music's a bit loud.
1 sec.
Okay. Our first question is, what are you doing in-game right now? And I am mining volcanic ash.
I am killing blue dragons.
I'm making wines, trying to catch up to Aloe.
I'm doing agility with Vatti.
Yeah, I'm doing it too.
World 65 roofs, if anyone wants to come. Oh, World 17 roofs even. World 17 roofs.
I'll join you guys.
World 65 for life.
All right.
I thought we were on 65, but no.
So our next question is, what are your goals for 2018?
I don't really have many goals set this year. Just like kind of really general ones of like maybe like 5 or 6 200 mils, like total, not all in 1 year. Just like go for 5 or 6, not really knowing what they are. Maybe like attack and hunter with herbivore this time, and we'll see where that goes. And as for like shorter term goals, I think I'm just gonna go for 99 prayer through Slayer, somewhat like Elkin is.
Well, I think my only goal is to keep up with farming, if I can. And yeah, I've been actually doing some Zora, getting some seeds, just for daily farm runs, even with papayas. And I even ran out of oaks recently, so bad.
Oh my god!
Like, I had 800 of them or something.
Oh my god.
And still no pet, so that would be a nice goal for 2018. But yeah, that's pretty much it. Other than that, I'll just do whatever, Slayer, Zora, or wines, stuff like that.
For me, I'm working on getting all skilling pets. Still need the squirrel and the chin. After that, 1 build total XP in Infernal Cave, so people stop bullying me over that. And then it's back to pet hunting, because RNG goals tend to go really well for me.
Currently I'm going for 50 mil Slayer. I should be that by the end of the weekend, I think. I think I'm like a little less than a mil away, and finish 1k raids probably, unless I get Kodai first, then I would stop.
I'm nearly at 20 mil all, so I'll hit that, and then I'll probably skill hop into Oblivion.
I'm focusing on 20 mil all, kind of like Vatti, and then I want to do like 200 mil fire making, and then probably knock out 20k Zola and 20k Mole, which would kind of be done for Zola for me, but that's basically it. All right, next question. If you had to see a new skill in old school RuneScape, what would it be?
I don't really... I wouldn't mind a new skill if they really did it well. I kinda liked sailing. I thought it had potential, but... So yeah, I guess I'll pick sailing if they manage to actually dev it right.
For me, I mean, obviously I do think we need a new skill. I don't know if it's going to be this year, maybe next year, but we could definitely use one. Personally, if it was done at the start, I wouldn't have minded summoning being added. I feel like it's too late now. It's too late now because everyone's so far along on their accounts. And I liked Artisan, not the way they proposed it, but the way it was proposed at the start, where it's sort of like Slayer just for skilling. But I don't know if the current team could handle putting in an entire skill properly. So I'd rather not, actually.
I think just because of the mindset of the game, I don't think a new skill would bode very well, honestly. It would just be like, fuck everyone, I want my 99.
Yeah.
And the skill, or anybody else, honestly.
And memes.
Like with summoning. I just don't see how it would fit in with the other skills.
I'd rather not a new skill. I think I think it's all okay. If they were to add a new skill, probably be something kind of innovative. Maybe play on the fossil idea, like archaeology or something. Maybe even something crazy like engineering, like World of Warcraft used to have. I kind of like Artisan as well because of the Slayer for skilling, but I don't think it would really go down well. I don't really see a new skill coming in until at least 2 years down the road. I don't think that's when the game will be ready.
Don't you think it would kind of have to be PVM based?
Which one would? A new skill?
Just any new skill in general.
Probably, yeah. Considering that's the biggest chunk of the player base, it'd have to be something kind of late game.
I would really like to see summoning in the game because I never played RuneScape when Summoning was out. But I think, like Cub said, it's a little too late for that because you have to kind of play a lot of your game around summoning, like collecting shit. So I would have to say something like animal husbandry or something like that. I think that'd be cool. Or maybe just like an update to the farming skill. I don't know. There's not much room for a new skill in the game, I don't think.
ModMac K did say on his 2018 stream or whatever that like he wanted to put a new skill in September or something like that. I'm all down for a new skill, but I don't want a skill that's like relied on other skills. Like with summoning, you'd need to do Slayer. With any other skill, you just like, if the Artisan type skill comes in, that's like you don't want to do all your skills and you're gonna like want to stop them doing them early. I don't.
Exactly my problem with Artisan. You'd have to do that first before skill.
I would want a new skill that doesn't rely on every other skill. Like, and personally, I would like Dungeoneering, even though that kind of relies on other skills and gives some XP in those. But like, and for the people that say raids is Dungeoneering, I don't think they've actually ever did Dungeoneering.
I actually agree. I've did Dungeoneering with completely different rewards.
Yeah, different rewards. It was really fun.
Rapier, I take the rapier. Not gonna lie. I want a better melee weapon than a whip.
Yeah, but the problem is that they would never implement Dungeoneering, even though it's not the same as raids. Now that we have raids, they would not just make Dungeoneering a thing.
I still think that raids would benefit having been released like with a point system like Dungeoneering, where like a twisted bow is like a set amount of hours that you have to do, instead of like being able to go in and get a twisted bow on your first raid or like go 2000 dry. I don't like that aspect of it.
Oh, like Vorkath's head, you mean?
Yeah, it was just, that's the thing that I came to think of. Like a threshold, like where you would just get the drop at this point.
Well, not so much a threshold, but like a point reward shop. And so like all the points that you get are put into like a store, and like a twisted bow is like, I don't know, like 2 billion points or some shit like that.
So just like how DG was?
Yeah, just like that. So you could like pick like, oh, I don't need an Elder Maul ever, so I'm never gonna waste the points on that. But I want Ancestral, so I can buy those, stuff like that.
They used to do that with WoW with tier tokens, where you would get a certain amount of tokens and you get to pick which armor point or which armor piece you wanted out of it.
Yeah, I think that'd be way better.
Yeah, but then you would have people complaining about, oh, I need to play this many hours to get that item, blah blah blah.
Well,
isn't that
what if
it
they?
is now?
Yeah, but like.
But you can still get lucky. Like some people get like 2 bows like really early or something.
Yeah, right now you have people who are gonna go for it because they think they might get lucky. That's my point.
But what if they do it just like they did the head, like where you can get a drop, but then you save up?
Yeah, no, that would be nice. Yeah,
something like that.
Would be good.
Just like how there's the head from the new boss, you can either get it on 50 or before 50 if you're lucky.
Yeah. I would like that. Yeah.
But we're way off topic.
Yeah. Going back to what you said about Artisan, I think that's one reason Artisan will never pass, is because you'd have to train all those skills that is included in Artisan for so much XP in such shitty methods. Like, you'd be doing like 40 mil of your woodcutting XP at like redwoods or like oak trees or something like that. And I don't think high level.
Yeah, but since you'd be training Artisan at the same time, that would be bonus XP. In a way.
Yeah.
But I don't think
it's
want to do that.
I think it's way too late. If it came in when it was like first suggested, or like earlier on in the game, it would have been a lot better. But the game's like too far in to have another like. That'd be just like if everyone got 200 mil all combats, and then like next year they're like, we're gonna release Slayer, and like.
Isn't that kind of how your account's going though?
Yeah, we're not gonna talk about that.
There's nothing wrong with mini games, honestly, that revolve around skills like that.
Yeah, if they could add Artisan as like a mini game, and like give good rewards for it, I think you'd have a better chance than the new skill.
Just nothing,
Yeah,
nothing with XP, right? I guess.
Because then if it dies, it's just a dead content. It's
Yeah.
not like
Yeah, like
now
elements.
It's not a skill that you feel like you're forced to do.
Are we? Sorry to go off topic. Are we generally against things that add to the high scores? So anything XP related.
I'm for it.
No, I'm for it. But they have to do
I'm for it.
in a good way.
Well,
I think if it's added in a cool way and it's needed and not just forced down our throats.
I
Yeah,
love new high scores to
But
complete.
If you look at the way updates have been going, they would not be able to put in a good update, like a good skill. There's too many people complaining about different things. It would
Yeah,
never
I also
work.
think it will never happen. Like
No.
it'll never get 75%.
Okay.
All right, moving on. Next question is, what are your thoughts on Dragon Slayer 2?
Well, when I did it at the start on release, I did it with Parker and Vatti on Discord, and even though we rushed it, I thought it was a good quest. The ending is amazing, like the whole boat part. Overall, I don't like most of the items they added. They seem a bit unnecessary. But yeah, overall it's a good quest. Not as good as Monkey Menace 2, but still fun. It wasn't too long either. And the only thing that I didn't really like, I mean, they explained it in the lore and the quest, but the way it was presented at first, I thought that Vorkath would be like the end boss. That would be like the upgraded Elvarg. And then
Yeah.
you're like, oh wait, I'm fighting Vorkath for a key piece. What the hell? That's the only part I didn't like.
I kind of piggyback on what he said. I thought the quest was overall good, not as good as Monkey Madness 2, but the ending was better.
I think it's their best quest that they've released. I've really enjoyed it. I did it, like Cub said, with Parker and Cub on Discord. It was a really good puzzle, really good story, really good lore. And the ending, then when the ending sequence happened, and I happened to have music on, I was like, "Is this a new track or something?" But it's the main actual track, and it's really just amazing. So overall, really good quest. Keep it up. Just good stuff.
Yeah, it's gonna sound like I'm gonna sound like a nerd, but I got goosebumps when you're on the boat thing and the main theme starts playing. So that was pretty cool. I have to agree with Vatti. I think this was the best quest. I think it was better than Monkey Madness 2. Really good job. We'll get into it later, but the rewards are kind of a letdown. But I think the quest itself is really good.
I haven't done the quest yet. I've watched a few people attempt to kill the boss. It was pretty entertaining watching some people try to kill the boss and keep cheering them on. Me and Lasby are gonna do the quest together like next week or something. Sounds like it'll be fun from what other people said. And I'll try not to die as much as Flynn does, because I heard he died a lot.
Congratulations to Flynn for completing a quest.
But still doesn't have the quest game.
Well, I mean, neither do I.
Neither do I.
I'm not going to do that
Okay, you
Halloween
also.
event quest. Screw that.
But as a concept, I love quests. I hate doing quests, and I hated Monkey Madness 2 the most. Like, it was so terrible. I hated it. But I loved Dragon Slayer 2 for some reason. I was like really pessimistic and like had a bad attitude towards it when the update hit. But I did it, and I didn't even attempt the puzzles on myself. I just watched Wooks do them on the stream and took some advice from for the other puzzles. And but yeah, I liked the ending, and I liked the boat scenes, and the last boss fight was really nice. I enjoyed it. Died like 2 times because I had no idea what I was doing. And yeah, as Cub said, at first I thought Vorkath was the boss, and I was like, oh, okay, this is a pretty short quest. Yeah, then it just continued and continued.
Psych.
But yeah, I really enjoyed it. It was nice.
I also thought it was funny at the map part, like right at the beginning. Everyone just was like, oh yeah, we're at the map. They open up the map and they're like, what in the world is this? And everyone's like freaking out, like going stream to stream, looking. Everyone's like, what the heck are we doing? And then someone's like, wait, it's Fossil Island, guys.
Like, do they have a plugin for that yet? I feel like
No.
Yeah.
It does. I feel like it wouldn't matter how hard they can make it. Like, I thought it was easy. Obviously, like, it's just cookie cutter, but I feel like it doesn't matter how hard they would make it because it's a third-party plugin,
Yeah.
Yeah.
which is annoying.
All right. Did you do Dragon Slayer 2 on release, or wait for a guide, or watch streamers?
No, I got home at like 3 a.m., so it was a good thing. I just went to sleep instead. And when I woke up, most of the streamers were like on the boss and stuff, so that was entertaining to watch. But yeah, I did it. I finished it like shortly after. A guide was already out and everything, so it was easy.
Did it on release with Parker and Cub, and I think I'll be doing every Grandmaster quest that comes out in like a group right when it comes out, because it's just super fun.
Yeah, it was really fun. Did it with those two guys. Really, I don't know. It sucked because it was like 5 a.m. for me at one point, and it was like noon for them. And my brain was just...
You also stayed up to get a Blue Dragon task.
Yeah, I stayed up. Yeah, so this was miserable. Okay, I'm gonna lay it out really quick for you guys.
Okay.
I spent 3,000 Slayer points trying to get a Blue Dragon task. I didn't get one.
You ruined your task.
Yeah, I ruined my task streak. I slayed for over a week, and I did like 3 mil XP. No Blue Dragon tasks, so I just did it without a task. So I was like, I'd stayed up all night. It was miserable. And then it was really fun. And then we got to the point where you have to use the urns or whatever, and my brain was just fried. And like I ended up losing like 20 minutes on those two because I just couldn't get the fucking puzzle right.
Yeah, Cub and I did it first try, and then Parker was there for like half of an hour.
I just couldn't figure it out. But yeah, we did it on release. It was really fun. That's the best way to do quests, I think.
Also on release.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
you did it alone?
Well, with Wook's help, but yeah.
Oh.
Other than that, hello.
I heard it came out earlier than normal updates do.
Yeah, it was really early.
Came out like a half hour earlier than normally.
No, it was like an hour.
Yeah, but
Yeah,
usually
about
the
an hour.
really big updates.
I woke up and the update had
Yeah, exactly.
like 7 minutes left or something.
Like,
Usually the
normally-
really. Oh, right.
Go ahead.
Oh, usually the really big updates come out like hours late because they are like they're testing them. Like every big update comes out like. This one came out like right around 6 a.m. my time. Usually the really big ones come out like after 9 a.m.
As Wolf said on stream, they like finished it a while ago and they were just like tweaking little things, so I guess that's why.
Yeah, shouts out to actually getting a piece of content up and running like on time.
I think they just gave themselves a very generous like deadline.
Yeah.
And that's how they should do it, honestly. Like if you look at the servers of like Australian servers, they should have never said like August and people wouldn't have been as mad.
Or the God tapes. Oh.
Yeah. Yeah, that felt so rushed.
Okay, next question. Thoughts on the new Vorkath boss?
I really enjoy this boss. I think it's one of my favorite bosses to do. Really good mechanics, and I got addicted on it, so I did 100 kills in a row on day of release. I just kept using my slaughter bracelet to keep getting the kills in a single task, and yeah. I think the community reaction to the HP changes was super just awful. Like it showed a complete lack of understanding of how Jacket's mentality was into balancing things. Ever since Solra, they've kind of been really apprehensive on it, so it seemed like normal that they would do it this way, and then just kind of tweak it in the next coming weeks or so. And I think they'll probably get it right eventually. And I'm happy, really happy that they made the head 100% drop rate at 50 KC. I think this is a good design choice, and they should probably do it more with like untradable things in the future, like KQ head or something like that.
Yeah, I agree. I really liked the boss. Really cool mechanics. Kind of one of those things where there's a really big learning curve. Like if you don't know what you're doing, you're going to get shit on. But if you know what you're doing, you can easily kill it in 2 minutes or so. And use very minimal food. The one thing I don't really like about it is the kind of knee-jerk reaction to buff it to 1,000 XP once they saw Woots doing that method. Like, I understand, I agree it should have been buffed, but I don't think 1,000 was the right number. And then the other thing I don't like is the fact that you basically need a BGS spec on it to kill it. Like, at the point in time, it's not worth killing it unless you hit at least one BGS spec. I'm not a fan of that, but we'll get into the drops in a little bit, but I think it's a really good design boss, but it has a lot more potential.
I agree with your BGS thing. I've noticed ever since like the Dragon Warhammer and now the BGS buff they made, a lot of the monsters and bosses coming in are all, I mean, I guess it's good that they're all around, like, they all have higher defense because they're just expected to use Dragon Warhammers now, but it's going to be interesting for me since I have none of that, and just going to be there. No idea what I'm going to do yet. It looks interesting. I like the idea like of 2-tick woodcutting the boss, it looked like, and then they just nerfed it completely to hit like 1 damage, but it looks like they made it so you can hit more. I like the idea of that method, but I see a lot of people are complaining about dead click.
Yeah, there's a lot of them.
I haven't done it, so I don't know exactly what they're talking about, but it looks like an interesting boss to do. And I'm happy about the 50 KC head thing.
Yeah, that's really good.
It's more annoying when a dead click costs you 100k
Yeah.
and a kill. That's kind of annoying.
I haven't killed it since the quest, so I did it once. And but what I've seen on Twitch, I think it looks nice and well made. And I would probably enjoy killing it, I think. But for the buffs and nerfs and whatnot, what have happened, I like it. I like that they nerfed it instantly or buffed it instantly, like without waiting, because it's a lot easier to like do it this way rather than wait 2 years, just like they did with Zura. So I like this approach a lot more. And as Vatti said, I think they'll get it correct eventually.
Yeah, I thought it was a really good boss. I like the mechanics. Like Soli said in the chat, I wish it would like move around at least a little bit. I'm pretty sure when he did those design streams, he made it like move around. So it seems very static. There's a lot of dead clicks. The drops I think we get into later, but those could use a buff. As Parker said, I don't think the 1k buff was a good one. I feel like it should have been lower, but as you could see, like they instantly fixed that the next day, so it's not like they're not trying.
Yeah.
Other than that, yeah, there's a few bugs still. If you melee it and it does that freeze attack, quite often you won't be able to hit the spawn at all, and it will just like instantly damage you for 58 no matter what you do. But overall, I think it's a good one. I heard there was going to be a buff in the drops apparently, so that's something to look forward to. And I do like that the head is a guaranteed drop, because at the end of the day, like if you look at Inferno, once you've completed, you will get the cape. Same with the magic one, so it wouldn't make sense to have the ranged one be based so much on RNG. So I like that it's a guaranteed drop.
Yeah, pretty much the same thing. I don't like how they nerfed it, just because of Wooks, doing that moonwalking method or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
But overall, I thought it was a decent boss. I don't like how you have to fight it before, like during the quest. I don't see the point in that, honestly. But
Have you done it yet?
Should have been the quest boss.
yeah, I've done it.
Okay.
How do you guys feel about the 100k per death? Do you think that's like a good price? Do you think it should be less, more,
We
or
talk
what?
about that later, I think.
Oh, do we?
Do we?
We talk about Dragon Slayer 2.
Oh, we talked about death mechanics, so we'll leave it for that.
Oh, okay.
But I think it's good. Just to wrap it up, I think that Warcath is going to be a boss that Ironman kill at least 50 times for the cape, and then never again. Even with the drop table buff, I don't think we'll ever kill it.
Everybody, it's an untradeable.
Pet hunters, mate.
But yeah. But I don't think it's going to be worth for prayer. I don't think it's going to be worth for crafting or herb lore. I don't think it's going to be worth it all. All right. Next question. Thoughts on Rune Dragons? I have done quite a bit of these, I guess. I did like 7 hours yesterday. Killed 250 of them. They're really fun. They're like an addicting NPC. They're pretty AFK at sometimes. They're kind of like wyverns. You can make a lot of money. You can kill like 40 an hour, and with that 40 an hour, you're basically making at least 400k an hour just from the runite bars alone. They're really good for Ironman, for outs, but I don't think they're worth like extending or killing off task unless you're like hunting the dragon lump. So I think that they're just a pretty good skip like point task just to go do, because you only get like 5. Yeah, they're pretty fun though. Really good alcohols. I did like 250 kills and got like 10 rune legs or dragon legs. So
I was looking at Parker kill them because he kept posting pictures, and I was like, how much like raw GP are you getting an hour? Like 500k. And he posted a picture of D legs, so I was like, oh, like 550k, and then post another picture of like back-to-back D legs. So they're very good, and like one of the best methods for raw GP for Ironman now, if anyone just like needs GP really bad at the moment. But
yeah, real quick, I tweeted out a picture of the loot I got for 250 kills, and it's about like minus the bones, it's about 8.5 mil of just raw GP from like 250 kills. So it's like 1.8 mil an hour.
And that's insane for like Ironman, just
Weren't
raw
they
GP.
trying to avoid that kind of stuff? Like first is there's like Slayer, like Necros and Gargoyles, then there's Rev Caves, and there's this.
Yeah,
Yeah.
like
Avoid that kind of stuff.
the Rune Dragons are more GP per hour than Warcap. So
Yeah, it's funny.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
something.
I guess I have to go there to fund the statue.
What do you mean, bro?
Ah.
What's that? Lala?
Yeah, trying to get 200 mil viables with the old GP. I save from scamming you guys and not building the statue. Nah, I'll definitely build it. That's my goal for 2018. Build this goddamn
Same.
100 mil statue.
I'll build it after Lala.
okay.
But yeah, about the dragons, I haven't killed them. I have no idea what they drop, but from what Parker described, they sound nice for GP, as you said, but probably not worth it for the prey XP.
Yeah. I think Parker's the only one
Unless
who's
they
done
drop
it,
like
so.
2 dragon bones.
I've got a few.
They drop superior bones as well sometimes, right?
Yeah, there's Spear bones are like I think like 1 in 3.
Yeah.
It's kind of hard to tell.
It's 1 in
They're
3.
pretty common.
How many kills an hour do you do?
I did 37, so you could probably get up to like 40 with good RNG and better Dragon Warhammer hits.
Yeah, apparently if you hit one Dragon Warhammer spec, they're like butter, you said, right?
Oh yeah, they're easy to kill if you hit a
How
Dragon
far
Warhammer spec.
are they from a teleport?
There's a teleport right to them.
Couldn't you just Dragon Warhammer every kill then, or?
Yeah, POH room.
Yeah, would that be worth it?
No, probably not right now because there's so many people. You'd probably just get crashed. You'd be world hopping a lot.
Does that mean we're gonna get alt-scapers on regular accounts? We're gonna like spec transfer every Rune Dragon kill?
No, but they'll,
They
that
seem
place
to do that everywhere.
Yeah, that place is gonna be as packed as Wyverns were when they first got buffed, probably for a long time.
Yeah, because the quest requirements aren't even that high.
Yeah, and the dragon lump that they drop is worth like 82 mil at the moment. So
Yeah, it's insane. So yeah, I don't think I have any more to add. As I said, I haven't done them, so anything I know is like based on what Parker says. Might as well
Yeah,
move on.
pretty
I
much
think,
the same thing.
to that.
I think one more thing about them is that they give sustained rune bars now. So if you ever
Oh, yeah.
need quick rune darts on an Ironman, you just go there for a few kills. Especially with the new Avis assembler, you save so many rune darts now. It's just probably just worth it to go to get some rune darts if you need them. Because you don't have to get the coal, you don't have to get the rune or anything. It's just straight rune bars. So
But you
that's pretty
waste
nice.
so much GP doing that.
Well, I mean, if you only need you only need like 200 and it lasts you a while because of the assembler. And if you're
Yeah.
using it for like PVM or something, then go for
There's
it.
very few places where you even need rune darts. Like maybe solo raids, but even then, like
Exactly. So if you ever run low, then go for it.
yeah,
Well, I'm not saying
yeah,
I'm not saying it's a good idea. I'm just saying it's easier to do now.
yeah.
I would say Rune Darts. I would say doing that for Rune Darts is probably worth for like Inferno or solo raids, and probably it.
Yeah, but at least there's somewhere to get them now.
Yeah, for sure. All right, this one's gonna be quick. Thoughts on Addy Dragons?
Heard they were very underwhelming. That's
No
all.
idea, Skip.
They're like the same as Rune, just with Addy items, right? So I don't
Yeah.
see a reason to do them.
Yeah, same.
They're absolutely terrible. Don't do them.
Yeah, they're the same as Addy or Rune Dragons, but they drop 2 Addy bars, so your inventory fills up faster.
If you want the dragon kite shield, do Addy Dragons, but that's about it.
Yeah, that's basically it.
I don't know.
They might.
I don't know.
I'm kind of interested to see if like what their GP per hour is, because you might be able to kill them faster. But I've heard that they're like really fucking AIDS to kill because of their venom attack and their diamond bolt spec attack. So,
How many do you get per task?
like I've seen like anywhere from 3 to 7 with unextended.
I don't know if this question's in there, but what do you guys think about having a metal dragon task rather than just separate ones? It would be
Yes.
a buff to Slayer, but I love that.
I would say, I would say if that comes in the game, they need to increase the amount of dragons you do.
Yeah,
So like,
exactly.
instead of getting like 5 metal dragons, you should get 20 metal dragons because you're given the choice to choose.
Yeah, true.
20 would be sick for steel dragons.
Exactly.
Rune Dragons,
It's a
bro.
really
Oh yeah, all that. True.
yeah, but yeah, or if you need points, Steel Dragons are so fast to do.
Anybody else want to talk about that?
Moving on.
All right. So, are there any items from Dragon Slayer 2 that seem useful? Bone Necklace, Assembler, Super Anti-Fire, Dragon Bow, or Dragon Sea Bow, Surge Spells? Anything seem useful to you?
The assembler is nice. That's pretty much it,
Yeah.
I think.
Yeah, I mean you have the Assembler plus if you PVM a bit, the Mythical Cape. It can be good for Corpse Spec. I don't know if it's
Oh, yeah.
worth it, and for KQ I think Parker said. So that's nice because it's the best in slot crush now I think. But other than that, none of the items seem worth getting or necessary to have.
Okay, so Superior Anti-Fire, that you don't have to pray Mage, is what no shield,
Yeah,
no Mage pray?
You don't need
Yeah.
a shield. You don't need Mage Spray at all.
Would that be good at like KBD? So you protect from melee.
But how long does it
and then
last?
drink that?
2 minutes.
2 minutes.
2
a dose.
minutes.
Is it worth using the bones instead of for prayer XP?
That doesn't sound
I
too
personally don't think so. I think
Yeah.
Bones are
you
like-
You need that.
The bones are like 1,000 XP. The Will of the Altar.
yeah.
Maybe if it was longer. 2 minutes is so little.
Yeah.
But yeah, just the Assembler pretty much.
I'm gonna go for the Dragon Crossbow so I can do Saradome and easier, but that's about it. Because I still don't have a hilt yet.
I think the Assembler is really good. We're going to save a lot of ammunition. I kind of wish I did the Inferno with that, because I did like 4 days straight of the Inferno and wasted all my Dragon Arrows. The Bone Necklace, I got the Bone Necklace, and I literally cannot think of anywhere that I would ever use it.
Dark Beast, dude.
Yeah, like
Old school Nightmare Zone.
Yeah, somebody said like if they remove Nightmare Zone, you could do it at Dark Beasts for AFK XP, but
Would it be good at chinning? Because
I-
isn't
that-
that the one where you
no.
get like prayer points?
No,
That's
you
what
want the
somebody
Anguish.
said. Yeah, somebody said recommended chinning, but
Don't you get prayer pots there from those
yeah, they drop
monkeys?
prayer pots.
Yeah.
And Anguish is
What
one.
if you're gonna 20-minute AFK when you're at work?
Not
Why
everyone
would you
plays
want-
like that.
I don't think I
Tyler.
would waste chins while I'm AFKing. So
Well, what if you're a main?
That's-
Yeah, but
that would be a waste of money.
you'd have to move around to get good XP, right? Or can you just stay
Yeah.
there? I haven't done that.
No, you have to
Yeah,
constantly
yeah.
move.
Yeah.
I think the Dragon Crossbow is good because I think it's the only bow, that bow and the Armor Crossbow are the only ones that can shoot Dragon Bolts, right?
Correct.
Yeah, so I think that gives it a little niche use, I guess. But I don't see why you'd buy it over the Armor Crossbow if you're a main. And then Superiors, kind of like what everybody else said, they're kind of useless. And then Surge Spells are completely dead content. They're like 1.5 DPS less than the Trident and Zulra. That's the only thing I was interested about.
Dragon Hunter not shoot Dragon Bolts?
No,
The race one? Really?
no. I think it only shoots like Addy, Rune, and that's it.
So the Assembler, apparently it's a lot more OP than it sounds. Like, it says it saves 8%, but that's 8% stacked on everything you save. So overall, apparently, like, Impair was, like, doing the math too, and he said you save, like, 35% more ammo
That's so much.
than before.
Yeah.
And then on top of that, like, that just makes it so much cheaper for, like, main accounts. The guy who makes the DPS calc, it's like Bitter, don't know his.
Bitter cookie.
Yeah, him. He said it makes range like 25% cheaper overall for like people buying all the supplies. So like
insane.
we'll save a ton of ammo now
That's
Like-
good.
once you get it. And for the surge spells or whatever, I don't know if it would be good, but people who do steal dragons for Slayer, I don't think they would be worth getting. But no, like Higer does steal dragons as his like quick point task or whatever.
Same.
I, did
I
them
wonder
too.
how high you could hit.
Trident
With
does fine though.
does it like how high could you hit though with the Tome of Fire with that surge spell?
In the 50s easily.
Yeah, but if you're using a tome, you need to use Superior Anti-Fire, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
So it's probably not worth because of the bone use.
Yeah,
just
true.
random thoughts.
And you'd have to eventually runecraft Wrath Runes, probably.
Yeah, unless they start adding them to NPCs.
Is that everybody?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. What will you be using the Myth Guild for, if anything?
Well, Vatti made a video on his YouTube channel of collecting skills, and it seems to be really close to the teleport, so for that. And the Blue Dragons, I think he said 800 plus, but I don't think he did it in a high population.
I did not know. I was lagging on 229 and 30, etc.
Yeah,
I think it's around I think it's around the same speed as Tavily. I just kind of prefer that spot.
I assume it's a little faster overall.
Yeah, I
Plus,
checked
it
it
just
out
seems
after
less
the quest,
weight.
but they seem to be really like distant
Plus-
from each other. The
No,
distance was long.
What you
pretty
do,
long.
you collect the first two, and then the 4 at the bottom, you just use those 4. So you don't run back to the first 2 at the start.
Yeah, that's how I would do it. Yeah.
Plus, Blue Dragons tasks itself seem like they would be better there as well, so that's also what I'd use it for. Other than that, can't really think of that many things. Outside of the cave, like if you look at the herb shop and stuff, it's all pretty useless for us.
Yeah, I enabled the red dragons again, but I don't think I'm gonna do many. I've done a couple tasks. I'll probably Do you know how many? Does you know if anybody's tested the kills an hour for the dragons in there?
No.
I think someone did greens or blues with the cannon, and it was like 250 an hour. I don't know about the others though.
I think Higer said 240 dragons, 240 bones per hour off task, killing the 2 greens and then the 1 blue.
That's really good for hardcores.
That
Not
sounds
for us.
pretty good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hello, do you, I'm guessing the noted hides don't happen on red dragons in the Mist Guild, right?
No, they don't.
Yeah.
It's the Kramja diary.
Yeah, exactly. So
But
I guess if you were doing, sorry, go on.
I was talking to Higer about that, and he says it would be better if you're gonna tan dehide and make the bodies while you're doing the kills,
Yeah.
because he does that for blues already. So having them not noted at those ones could be better.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah.
Other than that, just the scales and the hardcore prep method now, where you just kill the 2 greens and the blues.
Yeah, I would say I'm gonna do my blue dragon test there. Cooking, because there's a range right next to that bank. You don't have to move
It's
at all.
quicker to get to than the
Bizarre.
that place, so you can do cooking there now.
And I don't see any point in doing Runecrafting. I guess the altar thing or the fountain is really quick to get to for recharging your dragonstone shit.
I mean, you can just use the spell anyways.
I guess, yeah.
I was
No.
hoping that they would let you do the rings there, so you don't have to go to like the
Willy.
wildy thingy. But apparently those don't work.
I don't mind doing the wild thing. I've never seen any PKs there.
Yeah, I've
I
never
chose
won.
my.
I know, but like I have to like remove my gear and stuff, and it's just effort, mate.
But yeah, everything else has been said already, pretty much.
One thing that I thought was funny about the new cooking spot was hold up Reddit, and I saw some posts freaking out how it's the new best place to cook, and there's a place in Tazar that does the exact same thing.
Yeah.
Person just said that in the chat as well.
Yeah, like I didn't. It's not just him. There's been a lot of people that were just posting like, "Wow, you don't even need to move from the bank for this," and there's one at the Tazar.
And
So
like
if
one in
you,
the Rogues Guild too, or the
I
Rogues
mean,
Den.
yeah, the rogues was also like that, right?
So
Yeah,
if you
but
have
the
dragon
Rogues one
Slayer,
isn't
put it
as
on, right?
Fire, but still.
The
And
Rogues
no
one
right
isn't
click
as
by me,
nice.
left click
Yeah,
back.
the bank moves around a bit. Yeah.
No, they made it so it doesn't move anymore,
Wait,
but you still need a right-click
Oh.
bank. Yeah.
Yeah.
Where's AHK when you need it?
So if you have a Dragon Slayer 2 done, but you don't have a Fire Cape.
Yep.
It's a very
There you
small
go.
group.
Yeah. I mean, could happen.
Moving on.
All right. So, what is your longest dry streak for an item slash goal?
Right off the top of my head, B-Ring took like 502 kills.
Zulrah
that's
for
just
you,
off the top
right?
of my head. Can't think of anything.
Didn't you go dry at Zulrah? Or was that not you?
My pet I got at like 8k. It's not as though. I'm just thinking of like drop rate. I think that would be rate's the worst. Hilt took a while too. But...
Yeah, I would have said Sammy Hilt for you.
I mean, B-Ring is 128, 128, right? So
Oh yeah, good point.
Yeah.
Good point.
technically, I got really dry on that.
You got 2 semi-healths, didn't you?
Yeah, it was its second kill.
Yeah, it's alright.
I went 225 hours dry for Dark's legs.
And then I saved you.
I have, well no, I got the Aram's legs at 2720 KC, and he said keep going for the Dark's legs. I'm like, okay, sure. So I have 2,726 6 KC plus Barrows runs. I did that in a row over the span of 5 weeks.
Wait, did you do that before or after the top part?
After what, sorry? Oh, no, this was after the teleport.
Okay.
So, yeah, 225 hours of Barrows.
Not respect.
Fuck off.
Devalued, sorry, dude.
I got 1.8 mil mind runes though for ZMI, so that was nice.
Holy fuck.
Word.
So, worth.
I would say 2. My most recent one being the fucking Blue Dragon task. That was cancer. I literally slayed with Chaldar, or that bitch from Zenaris, for like 8 hours.
Wow.
Killing like rock slugs and shit. And then I'd say my other one was probably any drop for Bandos. I went 723 dry for anything. So that was pretty cancer.
I think mine, as much PVMing as I do, my least favorite, and I think the one I hated most, was the Dragon Pick my first time around, because I went to go do Barrows for the full set, and I got my set, and I was hyped. And I was like, yeah, I'm feeling lucky. Let's go get a Dragon Pickaxe. And I was like, I'm going to kill Chaos Ellie, because I saw Osiris did that. So I was like, yeah, let's do it. I go there, first kill, I get the pet. And I was like, wait, what?
Oh, poor you.
And then I went, banked the pet, come back. I killed over like 750 wilderness bosses. And then Sam brought up a good point of the Tome of Fire. I got my first Tome of Fire at like 2.5k. Or no, 2-point-something K, or right around there, something crazy like that. And then on Flower this time around for 200 mil fire making, and no, it's not too dry, but I didn't get a Dragon Axe at all. And I see all the little hardcores getting it at like 70 fire making.
For me, I think Chompy pet took me like 1.8k Chompy kills. And the rate was 1 in 500 without plucking. And Chaos Elemental, I did 150 Chaos Elemental kills for the Dragon 2-hander. Didn't get the pet, then I killed Chaos Fanatic like 2.75k or something.
Oh my god.
Before I got the pet. It was like, those are not... Like,
not the hardest.
Didn't take too much time. But yeah.
Have you calculated your farming pet? Surely you're like
it's really hard
that,
to
right?
calculate because...
Yeah.
So
yeah, you don't remember exactly how many seeds you
but
did
I'm fairly sure I'm dry for that as well.
Yeah.
One day.
For me, I mean, there's a few things, but I'll go with the Golem. Most people know about that. 67 mil XP. Well, 66 because it came out at 74. It was a lot of fun sitting in the mines every day. But yeah, I spent way too much time on that, and at the end of the day, I put it in my POH and haven't looked at it since. So.
Worth it.
Worth. But yeah, that's probably it.
All right. How do you feel about the Zale library being solved, and should it be changed and nerfed? This is about the runecrafting thing.
Yeah, I found this really interesting when I saw it on Reddit, and how the guy from King the Skill won using this method. I think it's really cool when people figure out the intricate game mechanics of like certain techniques. I remember doing it with Herbivore at the start. They should probably leave it alone, because it takes a bit of effort, even though Wook's made the program which kind of solves it for you now. But they should probably leave it alone because it's not really OP in any way. Maybe for the early game, I don't know if the XP scales or not, but I'm not too sure about that. But yeah, really interesting stuff.
Yeah, so I think it's pretty interesting that somebody found it out, because from what I understand, before Wook's made the program or whatever, it's all a memory game. Like, it's all, you have to do it completely on memory, knowing where the books and stuff are. And I think it does scale on your XP, and I think it's like 45k an hour at like 99, so it's not really that good. It requires a lot of effort. So I think it's, you know, totally okay for them to keep it in the game. It's not breaking anything.
I knew about it before he posted it on Reddit, because Dinophile was going to do runecrafting originally, and originally when the books came out, and we did it when Zaya was first released, and we were getting like 100k runecrafting an hour because the JMUD said you can't turn in more than 30 books an hour. It's not possible. And there we were. And we had like groups of people, and we would like have to post pictures of all the books, and never really realized it's on like a set cycle. I just never really thought that far into it. I thought it was just randomized, like everything was just randomly placed. But Dino said there's like a bunch of cycles, and he had them all down on like a paint document, so he knew exactly where to go. Thought that was cool.
You know, I still remember that trance music tweet with the 90k.
Yeah, and people thought it was him.
That was great. Yeah, people thought it was him.
I don't even know how
that would have been awesome if
he
got banned or something. That would have been so funny.
Like, I don't even know how the picture got to him either. I linked it in TeamSpeak. Then suddenly, like, went over to him. He posted it, and everyone's saying he's abusing Zaya.
Yeah, I think I heard it first from you, Tyler, then afterwards from Dino. So I knew about it before that Reddit thread. But I think it's fine. It's not breaking anything, and if it isn't broken, don't fix it.
Yeah, as Lila and Tyler said, it was known like before that. And for the people who are like, oh, Woox's the program makes it too easy, like if Woox hadn't done it, then OS Buddy or Conduit would have anyways. And that's just how the game works nowadays. Like, there's a solver for everything and a plugin, so it's whatever.
Yeah.
It doesn't break anything. It's just how the game works now.
I don't know much about it, but I heard it was good for a king of the skill. So
Yeah, the guy won with it.
yeah, I mean, if they took advantage of it, it's good for them.
Let's not talk about winning in King of the Skill because Fraser's in the chat.
Oh, yeah.
Cub, going on what you said, like OS Buddy would have done it or something. That would be actually insane. You just click one book and then it just shows you where all of them are. And like
Yeah.
when you're running,
be surprised though.
like
If they did that, I think it needs to be fixed.
when we originally did it the first time, we had like 6 or 7 people doing it at once, and everyone would plant flowers and be
Yeah.
and you'd be like, oh hey, a book is here, so like I'm running by, I'm gonna take a book. If it was like OS Buddy or something, it'd be like just a highlighted bookshelf saying like,
Yeah.
oh hey,
They'd
there's
probably even have an arrow to direct you to the next book.
Yeah. If that happens, I think they should definitely nerf it. Alright, absolute best place to flex darts. What about broad arrows? So I think darts can basically be done anywhere that you're running. Agility, you could probably do it in Slayer. Do it like Wintertod. Basically just fletch as many darts as you need to use, and not anything more. And then I do my broad arrows at Wintertod and Herbivore. You could do it during Agility, but I don't like it during Agility because you don't get to fletch many. But yeah.
Unless you're Higer.
Yeah, Hydra doing like fucking fletching darts and then, or fletching arrows and then enchanting jewelry like a madman.
Yeah.
For darts, yeah, anywhere. Arrows, one place you can do it with, if you're not insta-starting Volcanic Mine games, you have like a 30-second downtime, and you do run a lot in Volcanic Mine as well. And in a second, I'm gonna link Higer's agility video, because how he does it, agility is like pretty alpha. If you want to see what efficient agility would look like, it
that is macro agility right there.
It is in the chat if you are
He never
curious.
does that anymore though, trust me. I've seen him at RD, he gets like 30k an hour.
Yeah, but he only does that when he's like busy hopping worlds and he needs some downtime because he's banking at B and stuff. But he said he really enjoyed it and wants to do that to 50 mil.
50 mil fletch or?
Yeah, 50 mil fletch and agility.
Jeez.
He's scary.
Alpha.
He really is.
Move over aloe.
As everyone said, darts pretty much anywhere, since no menu. And for broad arrows, I hate making them, but I guess Herbivore would be the place for me.
Yeah, Herbivore's the place to go. That's the only place I do it. And chin hunting, sometimes I do darts there at red chins. You don't get to do it a lot, but yeah, basically anywhere where you have any sort of downtime. It doesn't really matter.
Yeah, Herbivore, mostly, pretty much. I think that's about it. There was that new thieving method that I did a lot of Alex. That would have been really nice for Alex if they didn't nerf that. But
wasn't that like 350k an hour or something?
Yeah, the kind of current one where people were getting like 370k.
Did like 4k Alex.
Jesus.
Do you think that method should have been nerfed like it did, or do you think it should have stayed allo?
I think it should have been nerfed, but not like as much as they did it, where it's not viable anymore.
Should have found like a middle ground.
Yeah, I did a few darts at fishing during the free tick cycles, but other than that, I did most of my broads recently while I was waiting for people to scout raids for me, which was very nice. And yeah, no. I mean, I have no idea how to scout raids. You're talking to Mr. 11KC here, so. And I know, man. And I did a few broads during the volcanic mine session that the whole clan did, so that's about it. Just anywhere with downtime, really.
All right. Discuss the new prayer update, the Wildy Altar. Do you like it, or is it good for the game?
Basically, for those of you that don't know, this altar saves 50% of your bones on every bone, and it basically comes out to ×2 XP if you never die, that is. So a lot of people are just going there with like 100 or 200 noted bones, and you can even like one-tick them, use them as fast as you want. Originally, I heard that it was like you were forced to AFK, so it was slower, but you saved more bones, which I thought that was fine, but you can one-tick it so you can like choose to like not stay as long. It devalued prayer a lot. I don't know a good rate for it EHP wise, but prayer EHP does need to change with like some other stuff. I don't know what it could be, but I like it because I haven't used any bones in my account yet.
Wait, you didn't answer if it was good for the game or not.
Oh, is it good for the game? I don't think it's that good for the wilderness rejuvenation, because people are just like ragging people there. I feel like they could have done something a lot better for a devaluation of prayer. Like if there is another way, which I can't think of one right now, but I wish they did something else that devalued prayer instead of forcing you to go into the wilderness for the best method. I know you're not forced to, but it's silly to kill twice as many dragons than use them on your gilded altar. You could be 30 mil prayer right now, but you would have been 60 mil if you saved them. Something like that. Oh, hey, Lila.
Yeah, you just fall behind.
Yeah, I just finished 30 mil prayer not too long ago. Yeah, thanks for that, Chegex. I guess it serves its purpose, as it definitely is a hotspot for PKers, so I bet they love it. But yeah, for Ironman, it's mad OP, and that's hence I don't like it. But good for the game, maybe. For the PKers, at least.
And all your bone meal too, right? That you can't eat on the altar anymore.
Well, actually, I didn't do that.
Oh, you didn't do that? Oh.
Like daily bone meal. No, I
well, okay,
did.
I was the only one that did that. All right.
I maybe have like 1 million charges on my bone crusher, which I don't know if that's even enough for Slayer. If I end up.
It's definitely enough.
Okay, then I'm good. That's blood.
Yeah, and the altar, do I like it? No, I really don't. It's OP, plus the whole premise of it was that like the extra XP you get for the bones sort of negated by like the risk of it being wildy. But you can do the suicide method where you don't really risk anything, and you can still get a really good XP because you can do it manually now. I think it's like 400k plus doing the suicide, so you only bring like 1 inventory of bones, so there's no risk. It also doesn't serve its purpose, in my opinion. I feel like if they want to rejuvenate the wildy, they need to figure out a way to get more people PKing, because right now all they're doing is adding more places where PVMers get killed by PKers, and it really doesn't help the wildy in any way. And as I said, there's literally no risk.
Yeah, I'll never support an update that brings skillers to the wilderness just to attract like PKer versus PKer combat, personally.
Agreed.
I think that whole thing was just, that whole update was horrible, everything.
It's not strictly this update, but I did love the spade memes on Reddit. Absolutely love them.
Of course.
And the drama between PVMers and PKers.
And now because of that, we have a new Reddit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
More on that later. People in chat are asking about the suicide method, so I guess I'll talk about it. What you do is, well, what we used to do, well, what I theorized to do was to take a rock cake there, and then as you're running to the altar, you rock cake yourself down to 1 HP. You use all your bones, and then you click the wine that's on the altar. If you don't telegrab the wine, it does damage to you. So you die, you respawn at Edgeville PvP World Bank, or just any PvP World Bank for that matter, and you just restock your bones, get your teleport out, and run back. When Major Arena 2 came out, which is the same time the altar came out, you could have used the strange device you used to find the demons to get your health down, so that's way quicker. If you
can do that.
Yeah, I'm getting to that. So
No.
you can use that basically, and it brings you down to 1 HP way quicker than a rock cake, so you don't need to bring a rock cake anymore. And the same method still applied. Now with Dragon Slayer 2 out, with the Dragonstone thing, which you used to find a piece of the key in the swamp, that does 10 damage to you constantly, and doesn't kill you. So you can just keep clicking that down to 1 health, and you then suicide with that. That also means that the rock cake is kind of useless now. So if you're doing Darrock mold, and you just bring the Dragonstone thing, and it just brings you down to 1 HP way quicker. But yeah, that's the suicide method for prayer. Is it good for the game? No. It cuts prayer in half. Although I'm happy I don't have to do as many Zora for green dragons and stuff like that. It's just too OP in hindsight, and I feel we'll probably get to this later, but they should probably move away from wilderness in terms of PvP stuff. I feel like the wilderness itself is so intrinsically linked to PvP that it's a complete mistake, because they have to focus on the wilderness to revive PvP. They could just really revive PvP in outside of the wilderness, so it's like arena rating, like arena settings, like 3v3s, ladder systems, rewards, entities, and stuff like that. But we'll get to that later.
Do I like the wilderness update? I love this altar. I was like a kid in the candy shop when I was using my Dagonoth bones on it.
You creamed yourself.
Tyler was there. It was insane. I probably got about like fucking 20k XP from 4 bones. It was insane. I love it. I think it's horrible for the game. It's pretty stupid. It literally just makes it so you need half the dragon bones for prayer. I think a better way they could have done it was made it into a money sink and made it so the doors are locked. Now, this is kind of the idea I had. The doors to the altar are kind of locked, and you have to pay 100k to get in every time. And so that would kind of incentivize people to bring more bones per trip. So there'd be like some guy in there that unnotes it for free inside the room. And so you could pay like 100k, but you'd want to bring as many bones as you could to get your money's worth. So people wouldn't be doing suicide methods. And that way we'd get more GP coming out of the game. It'd be better for PKers, I guess. But oh well, they missed an opportunity with that.
One thing I forgot to say that I like is now that we have more of use for, like, I don't know, our big bones from Karask or whatever, because you can still use those as daily ectoed now, because those are still worth doing just for the amount of prayer XP the tokens will give you in the future.
The Clone Wars memes were really good too.
Oh, that was great. He almost got that guy.
They do that like different sections of the Willard too now, like for like multi-lures.
Yeah, I've seen that. I saw one of the streamers, it almost happened to him as well. Got like down to like 10 HP.
Sorry, what do you use big bones for again?
Bone crusher charges.
Yeah, bone crusher charges, and use your dragon bones on the new altar.
Okay.
And then now you just use big bones for ecto tokens, because the amount of prayer XP it'll give is a lot more than like what the big bone will give you on the altar.
Yeah, I already have like all the bone crushers things I need, so they're just gonna be useless.
Yeah, you can also use the baby dragon bones from any DMs you catch. Alright. Thoughts on wilderness updates as of late, as a whole? Lella.
Oh, sorry, I was zoning out.
Thoughts on wilderness updates as of late?
I'm with Aloe. I don't like when they try to force killers up. Well, mainly killers and PvMers in the wild. It should be like PvP for PKers mainly. So I'm not really a fan of all these updates. But in general, I'm not against wilderness updates if it's aimed for PKers.
Yeah, I feel like PKing and the wildy was such a big part of RuneScape that I do like that they're trying to rejuvenate it. Do I agree with the way they're going about it? No, because as you saw with the first rejuvenation and as you're already seeing with this one, it really doesn't do that much. As I said, all it does is get that PKer versus skiller thing in there, rather than finding a way to get more people to PK and make it more worth PKing. I don't know how you would go about doing that, but I definitely don't like the way they're going about it. Plus, there's the whole mess with the Revenants, where they decided to add alkables to everything. So, overall, just this whole Wilder Rejuvenation was terrible, in my opinion.
Yeah, I'd have to agree. I don't like them, and I feel like they're kind of being lazy on it, because I feel like they can be more creative with wilderness updates.
What do you mean, bro? They colored greater demons.
Wait, what?
Creative. They colored greater demons. They were so creative. Didn't you see that?
The recolored indeed.
I mean, if you look at an update like Dead Man mode and what they did with that, and even though Last Man Standing wasn't like the most successful update, I felt it was like creative and like kind of interactive, where they can kind of go that way instead of forcing it on the main game.
I loved watching LMS on Twitch.
Yeah, I think that had more potential to be like really big esport-wise if they worked on it.
Esport athlete.
I mean, they're trying to make it an esport.
Yeah, I think Deadman was the kind of esport side of things. Just to talk on this question though, I think the PvP community deserves way better updates than whatever they're chucking into Wilderness. They need to cater to the actual PvPers themselves instead of throwing people who do not want to kill players into the place for the best XP rates. I think it's a carrot on the stick approach to kind of entice skillers into the Wilderness, knowing full well that they're going to hate whatever they're doing, but they have to go there because it's the best rate. That's really unfair. I don't think Jaggers should do that to skillers. I think PvPers deserve people who do fight back, because that's part of the fun of player killing in general. I feel what Jaggers needs to do is completely disregard the Wilderness in terms of anything to do with PvP. I feel like the Wilderness is just completely dead now. There's nothing really you can add or take away in there which would really entice anyone to be there in terms of a successful game update. They should really probably look into WoW's arena system, so like 3v3s, 5v5s, kind of like they did with the Invitational. Have those type of things where it's a season ladder. Every season lasts the same as a Deadman season, or just like in between Deadman seasons you can have like arena seasons, and then with like ELO ratings, and then at the end you get like a trophy or like prizes or something like that.
Maybe it's too complicated for them.
Yeah, true, but then again it's way better than forcing people into the Wilderness who definitely don't want to go there. Because if they wanted to go there, they'd be PvPers already. So it's just stupid.
The Deadman changes have been good.
Oh, definitely. Deadman's
in the tournament too. Yeah.
Yeah, Deadman's a complete success. If they really wanted to focus, the PvP community should really embrace Deadman and really work with Jagex to make it as good as it can be. Because it's a really genius game mode, and once they finally got down to the point where they can put the game mode in. But outside of Deadman mode, it's just kind of dead. No pun intended.
The 2017 Winter RuneScape Championships were very entertaining to watch on Twitch.
Definitely.
What about the plot twist ending? Ella, what'd you think of the plot twist ending?
What happened again?
He auto-clipped splashing, bro!
Oh yeah, that's right, he got banned from botting, yeah. I mean, that's on him.
Yeah, you can't expect them to go through everyone's account before, like... At least they took care of it quickly.
Yeah.
Not really Jagex's fault.
Yeah, just having all year round PvP stuff, which isn't intrinsic on further game updates and coming up with new things. So you have Deadman for one part of the year, and then you have Arena season for another part of the year. That would really just kind of make it so you never have to touch PvP updates again. You can just kind of leave it as is, tweak the two things that you have, Deadman and Arena, and then just focus on the main game. And that would be perfect for both communities, I feel like.
I think Alkin made a really good video on this, talking about how Jagex is in a really bad groove of forcing people into the Wilderness that don't want to be there, and then claiming that they aren't forcing you. They say that they're giving people a choice, saying, hey, you don't have to go do Black Shins, you don't have to use the new Wildy Altar, you don't have to go get the new God Cape, but in reality you have to, because it's efficient, and that's what this game's all about. Basically, at the high level, is playing efficiently. And if I don't go do Black Shins, all my EHP friends are going to make fun of me, and I'm going to be the black sheep of the family. So I have
You already are.
The black sheep of the family. But yeah, I think that they keep forcing people into the Wilderness, and it's not a good thing. And I think it could be solved, just like Vatti said, with other methods. I think that Wilderness is fucking Dan's game. It needs to be deleted.
I did like Elkin's video on it that you brought up. I did like how he is like, it doesn't make sense to add the best thing here, because what if it's like, oh, you need like 90 agility to escape here? Like, you're gonna make them force go skill, and then they just add like an 89 agility thing in the Rev Cave. I thought that was kind of funny. I don't like that they add the best XP rates. I don't mind if they add the best money rates, because that brings more risk into the wilderness as well. Like, force people who go there to make money, that will be more high risk. That'll be like some of the best money in there and the highest risk. You don't need to do like biggest XP in the wilderness. Like, people are just not gonna want to do it, even though they're kind of forced to, and they're not gonna enjoy playing. And I know that sounds silly that people do things they don't enjoy, but sometimes people don't want to waste like extra, like a lot of hours just to do that. And also, I liked what Vatti said about just keep the PKers PKing, like skillers don't want to go PK. And the whole idea of last man standing, I liked watching that as well. Like, saw Fraser kill Bodhi. Like, that was pretty intense when he did that. And then what?
Wait, he
Did
killed
Fraser-
Bodhi? When was this?
Did Fraser beat Bodhi's challenge on the King of the Skill to get...
No, not King of the Skill, but I'm talking about last man standing right now. He, like, watching that, and like, it was really interesting to watch at the start, and like all their changes to Dead Man, like, that's more of their wilderness rejuvenation. Like, I don't have any ideas for what they can do besides make wilderness more money heavy than just only XP. Like, best rates for Ironman prayer is there now, even though they don't balance the game around Ironman hunting. People get like 270k hours there.
I really want to touch on what you said about making it more money risk. So hear me out. So if they made Black Chin the same XP as Red Chins, but made them like more powerful in terms of they'd be worth more using because they're more powerful range wise. So anyone who just wanted pure XP rates, they could go to Red Chins and get the same XP rates as Black Chins. But if they wanted money, you'd go to Black Chins because they're worth more than Red Chins.
I think it would have to be less XP, but yeah.
Sure. So something along those lines, where they make it worth more money, but they don't make it worth more XP and more money. Or they just kind of balance those two. So more risk money-wise, but you don't have to sacrifice the XP to not do it, if you know what I mean.
Yeah, then it's actually a choice.
That's what the wilderness should be about, in my opinion. But, alright, moving on. Discuss Jagex implementing updates that devalue Ironman skills, good, bad. I think the person asked this, I pulled this from one of the Reddits, and I think they're trying to get at, like, do you think Jagex should come up with new updates and stuff with Ironman in mind, or just focus on mains?
I honestly, devaluing Ironman skills, it's bound to happen. I don't mind as long as they do it in a good way. As long as, like, it helps the game overall, even if it devalues Ironman a bit, that's fine, because I don't think they should be catering to us.
But they're still taking us into consideration.
Yeah, exactly.
They were.
Yeah, that's true.
Which is good, in my opinion.
But I feel there are like a few lines you should draw. For instance, something I really don't want, like the NMZ shop or Cannibal shop. But overall, I mean, it's bound to happen. It's better to just go with it, good or bad. Depends on the content. For instance, Herbivore, I think, was a really good update.
Mm-hmm.
And while the altar was really bad, so it really just depends on how they implement it. But overall, it's gonna get devalued. That's just how the game goes. You can't expect them to keep because otherwise, why are people gonna keep playing? So it's fine.
Yeah, I agree. I think the updates have been generally like balanced, good and bad wise. Except for the Chaos Altar, I guess. I put that in there because I really don't like that update. But
yeah, Jag should probably ultimately focus on updates that are good for the game and good for the common player. So if it's a game integrity issue, they should disregard anyone's kind of chosen game mode with that. What I do like about what they do with certain updates is that they take into account, like, I can't remember exactly what it was, but they were kind of playing around with the idea of making herbal or something, which they would tinker with. I think it was temple trekking, where that was now best herbs for us, and that would have just been complete shit because temple trekking is shit. But they nerfed it and kind of kept the integrity of one of our most prided skills. So maybe something along those lines where it's like just like some niche thing is just affecting Iron Man. It's like, yeah, you don't really want to do that. Updates that are strictly against like for Iron Man should be probably avoided. So they shouldn't really cater to us specifically. But we should probably just be playing the game as is and take the devaluations as they come because they're just bound to happen.
Yeah, I agree. The game is bound to be devalued, so we just play it as it is. But I think Jagex is doing a really good job as of late for taking into account the different types of accounts people play. Like back when Ironman mode came out, they said they're never going to cater an update to Ironman because it's such a small population of people. They're going to focus on main updates, and that's that. But I think more recently they've kind of been putting feelers out and saying like, hey, what metas would this upset in the Ironman community? What about PvP? Would this upset that? I think they're doing a pretty good job of trying to balance content for the different types of players. So I think if they keep doing that and kind of what everybody else has said, and not drop anything on us like unexpected and like super OP that ruins like Herblore or
Chaos Altar.
Yeah, I think Chaos Altar was a bad example, but I think Herbivore is a really good example.
How would you guys feel if they made an update where the Chaos Altar and Ironman tries to go and do it and it says you can't, just like how in RS3 Ironman can't do spins but everyone else can? Like, how would you feel if they started restricting updates against Ironman?
I'd be fine with it, but I do think it would create a shitstorm on Twitter.
I think it'd be okay.
I think I'd be fine with that, yeah.
You limit yourself, so if you want to do it, don't make an Ironman. It's that simple.
It'll also slow down devaluation. I'm kind of for that, but I do like some of the updates, but I also agree with what Lela said about how they're starting to think more and more about Ironman, and I've noticed quite a few of the J mods like play Ironman now, even though they're low-level Ironman. They're starting to play and see more of what it's like, more than just like, oh, you look here, oh, it's just an iron, like, they don't even think of Ironman at first, and now they are. The game was like a lot different at the start of Ironman. They just threw in Zulrah.
Yeah.
Imagine if you went to kill that at the start, Lela.
I know, right?
Tellies.
Like Jay did.
Yes.
I think Jay did that, and he got so many toastools and teleports. And...
Black Dragon Hide.
Yeah, because
I wish, but,
Black Dragon Hide.
yeah, it was insane. But yeah, I was busy beating DPS 2 19 slave. So it was worth it in the end. I would have lost face if I lost to DVS.
Parker, you mentioned something about at the start of the Ironman mode, there weren't many of Ironman essentially. Like Jagex wouldn't really necessarily cater to us, but seeing as there's like Alcon, there's Skedler, there's Ian, they're playing Ironman, kind of more popular people are playing Ironman now. There's probably a lot more Ironman in the game now. So do you think there's going to be a shift into who the main kind of focuses on? I'd probably wager that it's like 20% of the accounts now, maybe less.
Yeah, I would say there's more hardcore or more Ironman playing the game. A lot of streamers are playing Ironman now. A lot of viewers are starting to play Ironman. I think that a big part of the community is Ironman now. So I think that they're going to start focusing more on updates that don't really cater to Ironman, but more are balanced around Ironman, not getting like OP as fuck methods.
It'll be the opposite.
Yeah, maybe.
Keep getting more and more OP updates.
Yeah, it's just like when you want to vote on the skill or what do you want to focus on in 2018, and everyone votes skilling. It's just gonna like make more easy-scape updates for it. And when did they do that poll of numbers of how many active players there are? And it was like Ironmen are like 5%.
That was like early last year, wasn't it?
I don't remember, but I think when they did that, it counted like all spam bots,
exactly.
Like it was really inaccurate because I'm an Ironman, but I have like 8 alts, but I'm like
not everyone's like you, Tyler.
I'm just saying though, I have have you ever made a non-Ironman account, and do you have more Ironman or more non-Ironman accounts?
But I mean, if they look at active, how many people play on 4 accounts at the same time? But yeah, as you said, they probably counted bots and stuff with that, and who's gonna make an Ironman bot?
Alright, if there's one thing you could remove from the game, an item, boss, location, quest, etc., what would it be and why?
Wow, that's a question.
It is a question.
Nightmare Zone? So I can remove it?
My man!
Tyler, don't hurt me, please.
Aloe? You're on thin ice here, buddy.
It'd be Nightmare Zone, honestly.
Yeah. Mine's a tiny bit controversial. I would remove the action delay on pretty much nearly everything. So there's a tick delay after you fertile soil. There's delay in action after hierarching, things like that. I would remove all of that in like a pro mode RuneScape type thing, where it's a constant clicking, like constant click fest. Where there's still like you still do one action per tick, but then the delay after that is completely useless, completely gone. So you can move right afterwards. You can do everything right afterwards. I think that would speed up the game way more, and I'd enjoy it way more. But it's probably not very popular.
Wait, can I just say something so people don't get mad at me?
Yeah, go on.
Yeah.
A nerf would be okay, alright? Not complete remove. Just like a nerf. Maybe XP, maybe shop.
Really quick, I saw somebody on Twitter say that a good Nightmare Zone nerf would be that you don't get any XP and you just only get imbues. I think that'd be a really good way to solve it.
I have problems with you, Parker.
People would go crazy. Wait, what?
Yeah,
I mean, they can just
insane.
They can AFK melee at Dark Beast. That's what people did before. You can still AFK for like 9 minutes at a time.
Yeah, but then it's a 90 Slayer requirement, and that's probably the main thing.
That's even better.
Nightmare Zone was made for people to get
Trained
max combat
yeah.
back when old school was shit, but whatever. Alright, if there's one thing I could remove, it'd be Zaya Runecrafting. I think it'd be really cool to see a bunch of fucking Iron Men killing like thousands of Zulrah and like mining a shit ton of essence.
No!
Yes.
But
Yes.
I do have to say that I love Blood Runecrafting. It's AFK as fuck. I'm going to be doing a lot of it, but I would say remove Zaya Runecrafting.
Alright, if I had to remove one thing, it'd probably be the trade restriction on Iron Man. No. No.
You go to the duel.
It'd probably be like, I know I said it before in the past, but like all the OP drops from like everything, like you never skill anymore. You want to get like all these things. You need to just kill monsters, get them as a drop. Like gargoyles, you can get a ton of gold ore and they just add up over time. Same with Pure Essence, same with like Zulrah dropping so many things. I wish it was just like you actually had to go out of your way and get it. Like what I kind of like about the slaughter bracelets and all that, like if you're running low on slaughters, you need to go gem mining and you don't just get like 20 of them as a noted drop or whatever. I like the game more like that.
Yeah, even early Iron Man, there was Wyverns. I think even before, like they were buffed a few months before Iron Man mode, I think. Or maybe right after, not too sure. And then Zulrah was another big one. But in my opinion, Zaya was the worst. And I just removed the whole of Zaya, the whole concept. Get it out of this game. Doesn't belong.
Where would you move it to?
Vera.
I don't know, deep wildy. Make all the PKs go there.
Will the rejuvenation free?
And yeah, but that whole continent just devalues everything it touches, like Wintertide. Soulspan. What else is there? Tithe.
Redwoods.
Basically destroyed farming.
Yeah, everything.
Redwoods.
I'm really surprised no one has done type farming to like take your farming yet. Like
I know,
yeah,
right?
right.
And don't give them ideas, man.
people do it on main accounts all the time, and there's no difference.
No one start doing tithe farming. Thank you.
Yeah, but if we didn't have Zaya, we wouldn't have Dragon Warhammer, and that means that I would have like half the PVM items that I have.
So that would even make PVM more of a challenge. Even.
Fuck
Yeah.
that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I had also written down Zaya completely. I don't think it really fit in with the rest of the game at the time. But I feel like I agree more with Tyler. I liked the idea that we had to, like, literally mine 1 million pure S and stuff like that. So if we could just make it more about scaling again instead of just PVMing for every supply, that would be really cool. It would add more of a challenge, I think. But yeah, it's a bit late for that.
One thing that worries me is Redwoods. I kind of want to see what they do with that, honestly, because I feel like they could just have like a mini game where you use only redwoods or make a new plank or something like that.
Redwood
Well,
plank.
I mean, they have
Redwood
talked about
shield
redwood
is-
planks.
The Redwood
I feel like
Shield is coming out soon. I don't know what they're gonna do fletching wise with that. Yeah, it's like 2 redwoods make the shield, and then you get fletch XP, then you get like craft XP or something for adding rune nails and black dragon hide. I know Mafur has 450,000 redwoods in the bank, ready
Oh
for
my
that
God.
update.
Oh yeah, I remember that. Thing, yeah.
And
The-
I
that
think
bug.
they said it was coming near the sometime in the first few months of the year.
Make skilling great again.
Alright, next question. Are you excited about OSRS Mobile? Will you use it, and for what?
I'm pretty excited about it in terms of the platform, but what I'm not excited about are the potential players that come into the game because of the mobile aspect. I'm looking at you, Tyler.
Me?
Yes, you.
Why me? What did I do?
Play mobile games, bro.
I'm killing Dust Devils.
Although like this isn't extensively a mobile game, there's going to be an incentive now by Jagex to cater to those type of players, which will probably, or most definitely, affect the PC players in some way that could potentially hurt the game in a negative way. In terms of how I'm going to use it, I'm just going to use it for herb runs and maybe thieving if things go a lot better in the future with thieving, but just herb runs really.
Yeah, I'm excited for it. I'm going to use it to Nightmare Zone and Redwoods. I'll switch over to Nightmare Zoning once it comes out, because I'm going to be a teacher and I can just pull up my phone every 20 minutes and just repot in Nightmare Zone, and the kids won't even know. I agree with Vatti that it's going to bring a lot new people to the game, but I'm kind of excited for that because I love seeing like noobs who are excited over getting like a Rune 200 drop at like Gargoyles and stuff. So I think it'll be good for the game.
Not sure how I totally feel. I mean, you can already play on your phone, and when everyone else can play on their phone, I'm like gonna lose my edge because I've been doing that for a little bit. But I feel like with how many players would come in who don't really do grindy games, they just download games on their phone and don't really ever grind, they're gonna want more easy escape type updates. And I know a lot of people have already made that argument and they said they won't, but they also said Dragon Claws would never come into the game. Like just things like that.
Checkmate.
High effort Runecrafting in there.
A lot of things like that.
Yeah, I don't place too much trust on what Jagex says it'll do or doesn't do in the future. But in general, I have basically nothing against mobile. And I don't plan to use it at all.
Personally, I'm really excited because I spent a lot of time doing lab work at school where I just sit there and look at equipment for like 6 hours. And I'm not allowed to bring my laptop there, so I could play on my phone. But yeah, as Vatti said and Tyler, people can say now like, oh, they're not gonna cater to mobile. But what if like a huge part of new players come into the game because of mobile? Eventually they will cater to it.
They'll have to cater.
They'll have to.
Yeah,
because
mobile
why
vote-
would they
mobile-
lose on the revenue? Like,
But I don't think old school will be that big on mobile. Like,
yeah, but I mean, you
For
never
most
know.
people.
Most
yeah, it's a
people didn't
possibility.
expect-
Definitely.
Most people didn't expect the game to get as big as it is now either. Like, you never know. But yeah, overall, I think it's good. I mean, people can already do it. This is just gonna make it more relaxing, more like comfortable to play on it. Because I don't really like the way you have to play on it right now with like TeamViewer or something. So overall, I think it's probably gonna help the game grow. The only issue is that it might not do it in a right way.
Yeah, pretty much the same thing. I'm excited for it for seeing how many new players it brings to it. And not so excited for the updates that are going to be catered to it personally. And probably will use it. I don't know what for yet though. I mean, not too many other things that I already used for like Google Chrome desktop. So, yep.
Shout out to Chrome Remote.
Make all is already kind of catered to it. Like if you look at the way they built that overlay, the layout, it's really like touchscreen made.
Right,
You know what I
exactly,
mean?
yeah.
One thing I want to add to my answer is I really hope that they make it so that like if you open up another app, it doesn't like log you out or anything.
I think that's a feature, yeah.
Because one thing that holds me back from doing like Chrome Remote Desktop or something is at the gym, I listen to like music through YouTube, and so I have to be on YouTube. And when I close Chrome Remote Desktop, I have to like wait for it to reopen, connect to my computer, all that bullshit. So I hope that mobile doesn't have to go through all that bullshit. I think that'd be nice. All right. Overall, do you like the direction this game is headed? I would say recently, yes. Like the last few months, they've made some really good moves towards the right direction. Like with the Warcath not being OP as fuck, Dragon Slayer 2 being really good, and just general like good updates recently. But as a whole, overall, no, this game is falling into oblivion. It's just getting easier and easier and easier, and that's what the community wants, and so that's what's going to happen.
but typically every game tends to get easier, like over time.
It's inevitable.
Yeah, but I
the
think RuneScape's getting easier at too
Farming
quick.
rate.
Yeah, I
see-
think it's gonna be dead in a year or two.
honestly, the amount of players, like you can see it on CML, has been going up, and like, or might not be going up maybe the second, but it's just been up and up ever since like the start of Old School. I never thought it would be alive this long. When I first started playing, I thought it would go down and like lose a lot of players. I do think though that the updates are coming way too fast, and I hope they slow down on that a little bit. But at least they're updating the game. It's better than them just deserting it, and just it'd be very boring playing the same old thing every day with nothing ever new.
Yeah, the game definitely does need updates, but at the rate they're doing them now, that's pretty a bit too fast in my opinion. Yeah, I've always held that belief that they're just bringing out updates way too fast, and they should slow down. And also they should concentrate more on minigames and quests and just leave the VM
So
and,
they don't devalue
killing
skills.
alone. Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't do minigames and I hate quests, but I love that the devs are doing them. Or I'd love for them to have
Yeah.
some love. Just so they wouldn't devalue everything else. But overall, I think it'll be fine. It'll still be here in at least 5 years. For at least 5 years. I don't think it'll die down anytime soon, but and so in that aspect it's going in the right direction. But for me personally, no, I don't think it's the game I started playing. Like, I have this nostalgia for 2013, 2014 and maybe early 2015 as well.
Oh, I already quit at that point.
But yeah, that's pretty much it.
Overall, I do agree with everyone. I feel like most people who are decently high leveled can see that the updates are coming in way too quick. Although I do feel like you can tell that they're learning, like especially lately. Even someone a lot of high level people don't like, Mod Wolf for instance. Even he has become better, I feel, than what he was at the start. He seems to listen to the community more. You can see with Vorkath's drop table that he tried to like not make it OP. And you can tell, like, if you look at Runecrafting with Zaya, it took them so long to do something against that. And now if you look at Vorkath, within 2 hours they hotfixed it. So you can see that they're like right on top of it. They're listening to the community, and I feel like they're working a lot harder now. So I do think we're going in a better direction now than we were, say, a year ago. It's still not great, but I do see improvement, and I think the game is going to be around for quite a while.
I think we'll have to wait till after mobile, in my opinion, take this question seriously. But I feel like before Dragon Slayer 2, these past 2 weeks of updates have been pretty good.
We had no updates.
So,
My man.
Yeah, what Ella said, in general, if you disregard mobile, if mobile wasn't to be released, I would say yes, the game is going in a good direction. I like the way it's going. I think 2018 will be the year where they tackle a few really key game integrity issues. I feel I'm going to call now that Nightmare Zone is going to get completely obliterated. They're probably going to kill every single RD Knight. They're going to nerf the blowpipe somehow, and I think these are some key under the hood game integrity issues that they need to address. Otherwise, it's going to crumble in the future.
And Excel blowpipes.
Yeah, I mean, for sure.
I mean, way overdue. Like, Blowpipe was never supposed to be anywhere near this good.
Absolutely.
Go kill your Rune Dragons now, boys.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I like how they're undershooting new content to be shit and then buffing it up instead of the other way around. One thing I'm really excited for this year, and kind of the 2018 theme, is I'm really excited for the Farm Guild and the farming update. As soon as they fix the farming timer and don't fuck up farming, please don't fuck up farming.
I'm so scared of farming.
Yeah,
I'm 100% sure they'll fuck up something.
Yeah, maybe. But yeah, just in terms of those type of updates for where the game's headed, I'm pretty happy with it. This game's gonna live for a long time, and I'm really happy about it.
I want to touch on the community, where the community's headed really quick. I think that the high-level community is like the most toxic community I've ever been in. I feel like not only that, but people are I feel like people aren't enjoying the game anymore because they're so focused on playing the game based around the number. Too many people are just focusing on EHP and CML and their XP instead of just having fun. So I think that people need to focus more on the fact that it's a game.
It's my life, bro.
I mean, it can be your life, but it can be fun at the same time.
I will say the most promising thing they did.
You're not allowed to enjoy your life.
I will say the most promising thing they did was nerf Zora and
Yeah, I agree.
Good one.
Yeah.
I don't know why a lot of people are upset about that, saying like they did it way too late, and better late than
Never.
never.
Yeah, definitely.
And
At least they did it good.
I'm glad it's not a meta really anymore, except for scales.
Yeah, we'll talk about that later.
Oh,
We only have probably half an hour left before we start taking questions from the chat, so I'm going to be skipping around the question sheet. But opinion on Gem Knights versus Arty Knights?
Oh boy.
Gem Knights are okay. I did like 20 mil there. I stopped because I realized I didn't want to elk like 200,000 things because I barely like elking like rune items as it is. So and Arty Knights were just instant money instead of elked money in the future. They were easier.
What was the question again?
Gem Knights versus
Opinion
Arty
Gem
Knights.
Yeah, I still do Gem Knights. Well, I haven't done thieving much in ages, and I don't know when I'll start doing it again. But I still prefer Gem Knights. I like resources more than I like money.
And that's why you haven't built a statue yet, Cap.
Exactly.
Says you.
What do you mean, bro? Yeah, okay, so let's just go through these a little quicker. For me, it's Arty Knights because I don't want to elk 5 million bracelets.
Gem Knights. I don't mind alking. I feel it's like the fletching version, like for mains. I try to implement it in other skills, so.
I've done around 65 mil thieving at Gem Knights. You will do Arty Knights if you want to get falsely banned, but I personally can't tell the difference between 150 mil weeks and 2 hour sessions. And you do Gem Knights if you want around 20 mil crafting XP.
It's all about them Arty Knights. Pure GP, too lazy. I don't want to have to bank and stuff. All right, discuss recent bans from Arty Knights. Should the method be changed to something less bottable?
I had no idea there was some recent bans from Arty Knights. But yeah, I've never liked Arty Knights. Just way too easy. Just click one spot.
They did have...
I did like the idea of adding something like non-stackable to the theming table. Like a bronze dagger or something. So... But yeah, I don't mind either way.
Yeah, I feel the same. It's not the best piece of content. I did like the idea of adding unstackable items, or maybe just making it so it can't really stand still that long. Like, it moves around a lot more than it does. Overall, I don't think the way it works right now is the way it should work. And it's pretty clear that Jagex don't really know how to differentiate someone just going hard with someone botting. So they need to look at other ways to stop these false bans.
They're only viable because of updates that we've had in the past. So
Yeah.
like, you know, diaries and stuff. Like maybe like nerf them to the point where like you need gloves of silence or something like that. Make it a little more interesting, or just remove them in general. I don't really care.
Someone had a good idea on Twitter. Just put them in Waldy and you get Waldy Rejuvenation 3.
Content which you can't discern whether someone's auto-clicking it or not, or has the potential to be auto-clicked, should never be in the game. What they should do is, with any pickpocketing thing, make it so you can always have a chance of failing. This means that you need to, and this is even including dodgy bracelets or silence for everything. So make it so you still take damage and you have to drink brews and put on your necklaces and stuff like that. That would change it. So basically same as Gem Knights. They should either just remove it completely, or they should fill your inventory up. I'd prefer to either remove it completely, or make it like Gem Knights where you still have a chance of failing, so you can't just suicide bot there all the time.
Yeah.
I think
Arty Knights are only really viable, like Alice said, because of updates which are just not as appealing, even though they have more XP per hour. For example, Pyramid Plunder is more XP per hour, but it's just shit rewards, so they can maybe buff Pyramid Plunder. Swimming for mains is really good, but RD Knights exists and it's super easy. They should really just focus on RD Knights because it's a key game integrity issue that they need to fix.
Someone in the chat did have a good idea about Pyramid Plunder.
Yeah, so Tyler and I came up with an idea, we think, where they just basically cut the GP in half that you get from RD Knights, and the other half of that GP that they removed will be supplemented in like Rune Lawn Swords. So they fill up your inventory, like you have to bank like every 20 minutes, but it wouldn't just be Rune Lawn Swords, it'd be like steel, like daggers, like bronze, like rusty swords, like random shit that you have to drop, similar to Master Farmers where you can't just AFK it. And so that would kind of require people to pay attention and drop stuff. Or you could do what Vatti said and just make them damage you, so you have to go heal and stuff like that. And then Hilt brought up the idea of what if they nerf Knights and make the golden seals from Pyramid Plunder worth money, so that Pyramid Plunder would be worth doing. So they could make it so you could sell those golden seals for the same amount of money you get from RD Knights. I think that'd be a fair balance.
When they added all the buffs to it, no one really even knew about them at first, and then me and Al over there did like 6 mil thieving on the one day that it was on Reddit for. Good times.
Yeah, good times.
I agree with everything because Parker said that we thought of that. And one issue though is if you fill up the inventory, you can like lure the RD Knight onto the bank. You don't like even need to move. I guess you need to pay more attention, but there isn't much dropping needed because you can lure that thing to the bank.
Just fix the law then.
I mean, the only way you could really fix it is if someone is attacking it, you can't pickpocket from it, but I guess you can still aggro it, which I don't really think that's the issue. I think it's that you can look away for 6 hours at a time, because now with the screen, like before when the screen turned, like the only thing it really affected was like, I guess when you're 3-tick mining, when the screen would casually turn or whatever, but like at nights, like you would need to like move your mouse quite often. And now with that screen never moving at RD Knights, you don't need to move it. And as for the recent bans, like seen some people getting banned. My alt got banned, a 2-day ban, when I just did 1 mil XP the other day. So that happened, tweeted Weath, and he hasn't responded.
I feel like it really just comes down to people reporting you. And then
But like I was there, like I was splashing on the night, and there was 3 other people with me, all like, and then my alt got 2-day banned or whatever, when did it on the same laptop, like, so I have no idea about what's going on there. They must have like updated something, because I know. And then there's that one guy who just got 2-week ban or something like that, and he did like a 140 mil thieving month. And I don't know how they keep track of who's doing what.
All right, let's try to go through some of these questions pretty quick. Do you think that buying daily battle saves is still necessary for Ironman?
Yeah, I do think it is. You still need a lot of GP to make up for the 200 mil buyables. And overall, I mean, you can never have too much GP. It's not that much effort to buy daily beast saves, so there's no reason not to do it.
I like GP, and I think they'll still be viable because I feel like they'll nerf B methods in the future, like our goal is in next.
How much GP do you have, Allo? Like in battle stuffs and alks and cash?
Well, they're trying to know if you can catch up.
No, I'm getting close to 1 bill.
Top secret bill.
I'm just
I have 550 mil at the moment, but I probably won't. I have like 8k battle stabs too, but that's about it.
Okay.
Short answer, yes. Enjoy not having GP at the end of the game if you don't do it.
My answer is absolutely yes. I don't think people realize that it's like 1.2 bill to buy all the gold ore for 200 mil smithing, so definitely need it.
Cheap.
Yeah, I don't have the runecrafting level for the diaries yet though, so I don't buy them yet, even though I could buy like the lower tiers, but I can't be bothered because I don't have cosmic runes either.
Yeah, I like money. I like buying them. I like collecting them. That's why I don't have the stack, as I said, because of my battle staves. And yeah, buyables are really expensive, especially smithing, because there's so many people buying the ores. It gets really, really expensive. And construction also especially if you want to do mahogany, which I'm considering. That's like extra 1 or 2 builds. And fletching is now all broad arrows, which are pretty expensive, like 6 GP XP. So that's another build. So yeah, for now you probably do need to do the battle staves. Although you could do oak and some other cheaper methods if you want to avoid battle staves, but no. Yeah, I guess personal preference.
All right, we're gonna skip the next question. So, in your opinion, in your opinion, 200 mil hunt at Herbie or save some for Hunter for XP for chins?
Just do enough chins to get like 95 range or so, and then just go straight to Herbie once your herb lore is high enough, and then catch any chins you need for any PVM that you might want to do after that, or just become like a cave goblin like Tails.
He moved to Herbie.
Yeah. I would say
stick at Herbie. Stick at Herbie.
I would say 95, or I'd say even 90 range at chins. And then I would say do 99 at herbivore or whatever, bank your 99 herb from herbivore, and then go to Slayer and get the armadillo drops that you want from black chins, and like do the black chins that you need for the armadillo drops, and then after that you know that you can just do the rest at herbivore.
The more Iron Man-y type game would be herbivore, but for those people, Iron Men who actually have friends, they could have their friend shoot the black chin and train range on them, and you would be getting a lot higher Hunter XP per hour, and I think that would be better long term, but that doesn't really seem the spirit of the game mode. So
wink wink.
Yeah, screw that. My plan is to do Herbie all the way to 200 mil, then some post 200 mil chins for the pet.
Yeah. You get like super increased rate, don't you?
Yeah, 15 times increased rate, so it's like, what, 10 hours?
Free pet.
20 hours max.
Yeah, just the same. Everyone has already pretty much said the same thing.
Yeah.
Fraser made a good point though.
What's that?
Chins, if you're doing a lot more XP per hour, like herblore is going to get devalued in the future, so it just depends when you do it, I guess, and what you enjoy.
Yeah, it depends on how you enjoy slaying too, I guess. Like, do you like herblore slayer? Do you like slayer?
But that's the same.
What's that?
Isn't that a question?
Yeah, later.
Oh yeah.
We'll get to that. Okay. If there was a farming guild update, what would you like to see in it? I want to see a new herblore patch, a new tree patch for all the different types of trees, like regular tree and fruit tree. And I want to see like snake grass farming or like a secondary farming or something. Just new allotments, something interesting.
I'm kind of curious to see. They kind of did make a secondary type farming, like they were saying, like you could grow or raise some baby moles, and then you slaughter them all, or some baby blue dragons, and then you collect their scales or whatever. And I'm kind of very curious to see how that's going to turn out, to see if it will become like, oh yeah, I gotta go feed my baby dragon, like in the middle of a herb run or something. Like, gonna start doing that to raise stuff to farm secondaries that way.
They usually scrap a lot of the ideas out.
You know, I like that idea though.
They change a lot.
That Runefest, yeah. So I don't think that'll end up being as they presented it. But
Liked it.
Even Artisan was changed a lot before it was pulled.
But for farming guild, I definitely want a Calcut patch or two.
Yeah, more than one.
I have like 1.3k Calcuts, and it's that's like 4 years.
God damn.
And a herb patch, of course. Other than that, I don't really care.
I'd want a few extra patches, and I think that was mentioned secondary for dwarf wheat, so we don't have to ever bother with one
yes.
again.
Yes.
Aggression
That's
potions.
like the best thing.
Right,
Like I
that's what I
don't
said.
care what the potion is, just give me some dwarf
They
wheat.
should really do grounded guams.
Oh,
Mixed with, ground guams mixed with dwarf
yeah.
weed.
Give that
Make
a
that
unique
into some
guam.
potion.
Aggression potions at Rune Dragons. Oh, ooh.
What's stopping like
AFK.
just every secondary just having a seed? I don't get it. Add it, I guess. Implement it somehow in the farming guild so we can grow seconds and not be
Please.
snake grass.
0 time herblore.
Make farming great again. Make it so
Yeah.
great Lasby will train it.
Definitely like that.
Yeah, just second use for dwarf weed, please. That's all I beg for in 2018.
I wouldn't want them to just do dwarf weeds because I feel like that catering to Ironmen when it's a farming guild.
Well,
you know.
they could also.
Says the guy with 25,000
$25,000.
Well, I'm just saying, you know, there's
Yeah, he
other
doesn't want his
secondaries.
Yeah. All right, we're gonna skip the next question, and then we're gonna go into what do you think is the absolute most underrated piece of content method of training in the game? Lella.
maybe.
Lella, what do you think is most absolutely most underrated piece of content?
Oak trees. Farming oak trees, man.
Okay.
I don't know. I have no idea. So I'll just skip.
For me, it's something we did after I maxed, which was the Rogues minigame. I had so much fun doing that. It's so underrated. I wish they'd give it more use. Maybe make it like viable for thieving or something. Remove RD Knights, add that. Yeah, put RD Knights in there. Just something like that. Just fix it.
Yeah, I agree. I really like the Rogues game minigame.
Wait, what? EHP or DMP? Is that the question?
No, the one after that. Sorry.
I'm not really sure. I guess herbivore. Because I hate catching shins, and I never would have did post Hunter X post 9900 XP. So
Sorry, I'm trying to sort out the overlay.
Yeah, you need to like remove them.
Yeah, if you could,
real quick.
Here,
It's
we should
fucking
move
up.
them down here. There you
No,
go.
I just
cheers.
removed them.
Alright, cool.
Sorry,
Yeah, I'm more of an EHP type person.
Fucking A. I would say the most underrated piece of content.
Wrong question.
Yeah, I
Did
know
I?
we're skipping around.
Oh shit, sorry.
Yeah.
I'm distracted. What was the question? What was the question?
The one after that. I'll be right back.
Absolutely most underrated piece of content. Was it that one?
yeah,
Hello?
yep.
Oh, okay, cool. Volcanic Mine.
All right. I would say underwater thieving and agility. Really good
Puffer.
content. Puffer squad. Tyler.
Sorry, what? Sorry.
Holy shit.
No one's paying it.
I was
Apart here.
I had an excuse, man.
trying to PM people to remove that.
What
Oh,
do you think is the most
underrated method?
Yeah.
No. I think a lot of people don't really understand how good Volcanic Mine is because they just do it in bad teams and they just do it with people that don't know what they're doing. If you have a bunch of people that know what they're doing, you can get some pretty good rates.
All right, so we're going to combine these two questions. So, Cub's going to start favorite skill and why, and least favorite skill and why.
Favorite skill for me is one that most people in RS probably enjoy. It's Slayer. I just like that you have like a different task every few hours. It keeps it entertaining for me. Least favorite skill, construction, because I hate construction so much. Trading it is annoying. Although I know most people disagree with that because it's so much XP. But yeah, Slayer and construction.
My favorite skill is probably farming. Just have to stay consistent with it from an Ironman perspective. And least favorite skill is probably like attack, just because I feel like it has no room being in the game. And an honorable mention to hit points. Terrible skill.
Yeah,
Horrendous.
Pretty worthless.
It is. It's dog shit. Just remove it.
So random.
They should just stop at 13 mil XP.
My favorite skill is Runecrafting because of ZMI. I really like that content. My least favorite skill is any 1414 or the new prayer. I don't like prayer being in the wilderness and it being that good, so I just hate prayer now. It used to be construction, but I just hate prayer.
All right, I'd say my favorite would be farming and herblore kind of combined on an Ironman, just kind of banking that shit and being consistent with it. And then I would say least favorite would be Slayer. Slayer's cancer and it relies on other people. And then construction, I don't like building the shit.
I personally don't have a favorite. I just log in, play till I get bored, go to Nightmare Zone, and leave the computer.
Nice.
That's
Let's get the rules, bro.
No, I play on my phone. least favorite, it used to be making planks for construction. Now it's turned into what Vatti said, prayer, feeling forced to go to the wilderness because you'll spend half the time like killing dragons. Like, you don't need to kill as many.
Favorite farming by far, best skill ever, and least favorite woodcutting. And also honorable mention to 14 skills. I never liked those. Really boring.
All right. Current meta of Zulrah plus mole kills for 200 mil all.
Did you plan on having me answer this question first?
No, it was coincidence, but it's really good that you.
Oh, yeah. Okay. Cool. So with all the Zulrah nerfs now, mole is now better than Zulrah for farming long term, and that's only if they fix the farming timers. So you do mainly Carquots, Mahoganies, those other things. So you only do Zulrah for scales now, and the amount of scales you need is around 18k kills worth or so. That's for 200 mil prayer, 200 mil slayer, and then you do any other Zulrah you need for any PVM stuff like raids, etc. For 200 mil farming, you only need around 25k more. Anything after that is useless when you consider all the farming you get from Slayer and all the farming you get from Zulrah. So yeah,
Okay,
that's pretty much it.
Did everybody
Yeah,
have to
it's
answer my
done.
question?
I'm just gonna say I think it kind of depends on how you play the game, because that's obviously the most efficient way to do it. But I plan on doing 20k Zulrah, and then I'll probably do more mole because I have a twisted bow, so it makes it way easier.
Oh wow, I didn't know that.
And,
what?
Okay. And so you get a ton of, crushed nest or whatever, but it also drops tons of Lantidime, Dwarf, and Cadentine seeds. And if you kill if you plan on killing a lot of Calphite Queen, that's a lot of Herblore XP right there. So I plan on killing closer to like 30 or 35k mole. But yeah.
Basically what they said, Zulrah, I'm glad it's not a meta anymore. You don't even need any for maxing. There's so many Ironmen maxing now with no Zulrah KC. There's hardcores doing it. There's other Ironmen that have done it. I am trying to do farming without doing any Zulrah and mole. I think that's going to be interesting. I'll kill mole sometime, but it's mostly I'll just mole now for farming. Don't really even need to touch them.
I'll still do Zulrah for farming. I don't mind it. I prefer it over mole. I hate mole.
Yeah, mole consists of 6 years of hardwood and Calquot farming.
Yeah, but it's only 6 years or so.
Oh yeah, 6 years or something like that.
Yeah.
Before my 30s. Easy. I mean, everyone has pretty much answered it. There's not much to say.
They're like the same thing, except more you need staminas if you have a bow.
True.
Yeah, way more stamina.
That's pretty much the only place you need them.
Yeah, you have way more than you ever need.
Dwarves. Yeah. I normally don't use them at all anymore.
All right, so we're probably going to end with these next two questions, and then we'll take from the chat. So, in your opinion, prayer bonus or strength bonus for Slayer, and why? I use strength bonus because I like the max hit, and we basically have infinite prayer potions because of Herbivore and Slayer. We get so many Renars and Snapdragons. There's really no reason not to use strength bonus, so I just go max strength and just basically keep Piety and Preserve on the whole time.
Go for some strength bonus. Don't put all strength bonus. Wear my proselyte. Don't have a Varric skirt. Bring a full inventory of peapots and click attack. That's my method.
I'm with Parker. Just full on strength. You'll get more than enough potions.
Yeah, for me it depends. If I'm actually paying attention, not doing anything else, obviously strength bonus. But if I need to work on school or something, I'll just go for pray bonus so I can AFK longer.
Yeah, pretty much the same thing.
Same, yeah.
All right. Do you prefer to slay for XP or herb materials?
Pre-99?
I guess you could add prayer to that as well.
Alright, prayer and herb. Pre-99 Slayer, I would say definitely go more herb style of Slayer. Go for herb. Once you hit 99 herb, I would just completely switch over to heavy slay XP. If you need prayer, you can throw in some prayer, but morally lean towards Slayer. Slayer will increase, yeah, but if you're doing Slayer at maybe 50k an hour right now compared to 30k, Herblore is gonna get hit a lot harder. I can already see herb type thing where it's just like, oh, 150k herb an hour with nothing needed. So pre-99 I would herb slay.
So basically what you're saying is don't do Slayer or herb law yet.
Don't do any skill.
Both get faster.
DVS is making the meta. Log out for a year,
Yeah.
and then come back and everything's sped
That's the
up.
most efficient way to play the game.
I mean, I agree with that. Like, you should just do it for Slayer and screw herb law. It'll get devalued. But personally, I definitely prefer doing the herb method. I don't like any of the barrage tasks. I don't really like any of the fast tasks, like Daggernauts as well. I don't like doing them. But the slow melee tasks, I enjoy, and yeah, I wanna get 200 mil herb at someday, maybe, hopefully at least get close to it. So
Before farming.
I don't mind concentrating on herb.
For me, it's Slay XP. Same reason as Tyler. I feel like Herb is bound to get devalued more than Slayer. Slayer's already at 1 million devalues. Herb is still
But
incoming.
Slayer will be devalued
Yeah,
forever because it's the
It's the most popular. Yeah, would it be devalued for Irons compared to like? I feel like Herb lore is gonna be devalued more personally. Plus, I just enjoy seeing like 50k Slayer XP an hour.
Yeah, I guess just XP and this thing called like fun. That doesn't relate to any of the other things.
bro?
But
What do you
Confused.
say?
Personally, I do herb-centric Slayer, but if you have 1675 IQ, you'd probably do gold-centric Slayer, where you value gold over everything. So you barrage next, you extend everything else, you just do all that, and disregard herb.
You can just do Herb at Daggernauts with a cannon. A friend did it.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh my
just make some cannonballs.
what a
Go
waste.
So I do Herb Slayer. I don't know. I feel like I have a feeling that they're not going to devalue Slayer too much because a lot of people are already complaining about how much
Are you
they've already done it.
retarded?
But I feel like that it's actually going to happen. I don't know. I don't like fucking barraging Smoke Devils or Neck Reels or any of that stuff. So I prefer just melee Slayer. Bring me back to when you meleeed everything. That's
Amen.
honestly best way the game was. I would
Are you-
tolerate Slayer at that point.
Yeah.
Every time I get Smoke Devils, I have to really think if I want to continue Slayer or
Yeah.
Those are getting on my
It's
block.
just
Those
such
are getting on my
annoying
block
thing.
list as soon as I get the heart.
They
I might
used to
block
be
them.
my favorite. And
oh
then,
yeah, I also need the heart still, so
Yeah.
can't block them yet. And
So,
I have to
so do I, yeah.
Yeah. How did you lose yours?
I didn't lose any hearts at all, no.
I used
Alright.
to hate barraging neck reels and bursting neck reels or whatever, or like, and I hated neck reels getting them in as a task, but like ever since I switched to that, it's become a lot more enjoyable. And like, I used to love Smoke Devils. Now they're one of my least favorite tasks.
Smoke devils.
Oh yeah, there was a whole discussion in the CC yesterday about if barraging was worth it over bursting. No idea how it ended.
At Dust
Maybe
Devils.
Higer is in the chat.
Tiger says that you should still barrage at Dust Devils.
So barrage
But yeah, I
everything.
don't like that. Especially Smoke Devils. Even with the cannon, I hate Smoke Devils.
All right, we're gonna take some questions from the chat. So I've pulled some of them from the chat. If you want to keep adding me, I'll throw them on at the end. But the first one is, I guess we'll just start with Tyler. Thoughts on the dead clicks in all of the original OSR's content?
I actually don't have any comment.
What was the question?
What are your thoughts on dead clicks in the game? I don't know. It's kind of a random question.
Yeah, I mean it happens to me at Zura sometimes, but
It's
part
really
of the game. Yeah, fix it if you can, but I don't think it's a huge issue at all.
Personally, I mean, especially Vorkath has a lot right now, but I feel weird to like complain about it because it's not like they're doing it on purpose. You have to remember that they're working with pretty old game codes and stuff, and they're trying their best. Yeah, it's whatever. It's a part of the game, I guess.
they suck. They've got me killed like solo raids so many times. Like I don't want carpal tunnel. I don't want to have to like
Yeah,
900
only
times
do the
tick. And because of that, you know, I die often to dead clicks and stuff.
It's just part of the game, but hopefully they'll fix it. It kind of adds to the old style of it, but not in a good way.
Yeah.
Yeah, just fix it.
I do think they should fix it, but I find it interesting that really only new content gets a lot of dead clicks. Like Vorkath has a lot, Raids has a lot of dead clicks.
Inferno.
Yeah, Inferno has a ton of dead clicks, but nothing that's really old has much.
Yeah, but isn't that also due to the fact that these are actually new things and the old updates were just like remodeling
That's also true.
old
Yeah.
stuff?
Yeah.
No dead clicks in Major Arena 2. I wonder why.
Oh my god. Yeah. All right. Seeing as a new area in the Myth Guild has 2 Rune Dragons and multiple blues, would it be worth to do Prayer Bone Gathering there opposed to Wildy? Just fuck the Wildy and you could kill the 2 greens and a blue.
We already answered this.
Loot bag. The loot bag's too OP, like. And for Red
It's
Dragon.
good for hardcores, and that's
Yeah.
about it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, we answered this earlier.
The
Yeah,
thing about
obviously.
Green Dragons is that they have such low defense. You don't really need to risk anything when you're there. You can pretty much bring like a Ring of Wealth, Snakeskin Boots, all this other shit. The only thing that really matters is the % damage bonus. So Necklace of Anguish, and Rigor and all those things. So
Yeah, don't lose a blowpipe with 3k Eddie darts in it like me.
Yeah, it could have been worse.
All right. I don't think we need to touch on that one. How do you feel? This one was from Pure Spam, I think. How do you feel about emblem boosting in Bounty Hunter to get Rune Pouch that most Ironmen do? And how do you feel about a buff to Wilderness Slayer? Yeah.
I boosted my Rune Pouch about 2 years ago. Well, pretty much to the day actually. I think with Wildy Slayer now, adding that alternative method instead of having to do bosses on World 18, which is kind of AIDS, adding it now is quite helpful. So there's really no need to boost anymore. I think buffing the emblem drop rate, maybe. I don't know. I haven't done it in a while. I don't know how bad it is. But at least there's an alternative way to do it now. I wasn't against boosting, but I know a lot of people were, so...
Yeah, I know a lot of people who were against boosting, but I did it. I definitely think that it should be removed, or like they should focus on like kind of banning people who boost, because it's pretty OP for GP. I know that like that hate guy on Twitter has an Ultimate Ironman who boosted like a couple million points, and now he just has a shit ton of GP on his like level 3 Ultimate Ironman. So that could be kind of boosted. But I think that now with Wilderness Slayer that boosting should be kind of bannable or something. Tyler?
Okay, so I was thinking about this. I used to really be against boosting with the spell, like when you're charging orbs. I don't know why. I was all for it for the Rune Pouch. But the spell I was really against. They ended up nerfing that at some point when they made it so you can only tally like 3 times. But as for Wilderness Slayer, like a little buff, I was thinking like Ironman can really only get tier 1s from Slayer. What if they made it something like if you finish a Slayer task in the Wilderness, you get an upgrade on 1 emblem if you complete a task. I don't know if that would be OP or not.
Yeah, I'd make it more than 1 task, because there's tasks like Scorpions where it's like 1
That's
minute.
true. Well, I'm just saying like something like that. Like you finish a task and an emblem upgrades, so you don't need to collect like 24 tier 1s. You can like work on upgrading your emblem outside of just PKing, even though that's what it was originally made for.
Yeah, I mean, I agree with it. I wouldn't, as I said, I wouldn't do 1 task. I would do a few more, but everyone would benefit from them making Wildy emblems through PVM a bit more accessible.
I boosted my Rune Pouch.
I
We all
remember
I'm
I helped you.
You helped me too.
I'm actually no, you didn't. That was for a different thing, but I boosted it in World 18 like with randoms.
Yeah, I remember you were. And then
I had to pay them quite a bit of money
Yeah.
because I maxed, and they didn't want to throw away a fight or target.
I
or
told you
whatever.
didn't need to pay me. I do remember that. I went there on a few alts, or 1 or 2.
Nah, no. This was before. But anyway, yeah. In principle, I'm against it, and I'd prefer if there were alternatives, like good alternatives to boosting.
Add it to
Alright.
the mage training arena.
That's a really good idea.
That's all I care about.
Rune Pouch at MTA would be really nice.
Yeah,
It's a good
as
idea.
long as it's not like the Mage Arena 2.
After you fix enchantment
Yeah.
bots.
Yeah, holy shit. Alright, I think this one came from Sam. How much volcanic ash are you guys all going to get when Volcanic Mine update comes?
All of it.
Higer told me how much I need, but I forgot. I think it was
I'm gonna
like
start.
100k.
I'm gonna start with at least 100k.
It sounds kind of silly to say you need 100k, but I'm gonna do like 100k as well. Just like get it, never need it again. I don't think they're gonna devalue Ultra Compost. I feel like it's gonna be around as the best thing for quite a very long time. And it's not even bad to get while just doing Volcanic Mine. It's really chill, just doing it with friends.
There's a specific reason why the background for this podcast is Volcanic Mine.
Miner boys.
It's super OP. And the ash coming to the store is just a nice cherry on top of the OP cake.
I have no idea how much I'll get it. I'll probably get it over time slowly.
Alright.
We could do a few more from the docs, I guess. Something like favorite update and least favorite update of the year.
We still have more from other questions.
No.
And one that I think you're going to like is, what is your opinion on corp specking on mains?
It's wrong. Remove it. It's so stupid. The only dangerous part that there is with corp now already is the specking part. If you remove that, it's literally AFK. And if they fix stuff like that with bandos, why wouldn't they fix it? I feel like they need to figure out a way where Ironman can use a corp instance, add some GP, make it a money sink, I don't care, but like where we can go back in, so like specking would still be viable. So basically a method where you can spec, but you can't like suicide, if you know what I mean.
Right.
And where alts can join you. That way they would also instantly fix ragging for Ironman, and where Ironman, so it's not like we're going to be bringing a lot of sigils into the economy.
I'm not gonna say my stand on corp that I've had the whole time. It shouldn't really be killable on Ironman, but now with updates and stuff, death mechanics, now we have BGS update. Just kill it however you want to kill it, honestly.
I mean, you can pretty much kill it with just brews without like suiciding or specking.
Yeah, it's pretty much a joke, regardless.
Yeah, but I wouldn't care if someone did it the other way, I guess.
Yeah.
Corp was one of those things on Ironman's was like, oh shit, you did Corp, that's crazy. And I was just like, oh, another Ellie, oh wow, cool, awesome. There seems to be nothing left really impressive on an Ironman anymore, which is sad.
Yeah, there's people with like Black Guide and a Guthan Spear with like Ellies and shit now.
Right, exactly.
Yeah. I did 8 kills boosting it just to test what it was like, and it's fucking brain dead easy. I just did agility, and like halfway through I started fletching new longbows and just Corp gear. It's easy, it's so brain dead. It's zero time whiteberry, 0 time the Ellie, it's everything.
Even mains do it. Think about that.
Yeah. They should really.
Sad.
They should figure out a way to stop Ironman benefiting from alts, though. I mean, they did it at God Wars, so why wouldn't they do it at Corp?
Yeah, I think it should be removed. I think an easy solution would just to be Corp regenerates its stats when you leave the room, so there'd be no more specking, and like the only way Ironman could kill Corp would be...
you could still, because Corp doesn't have the recoil thing that God Wars have, so they can leave an alt in the room, and the alt would keep that. Like, the alt would keep the stats down.
Well, then add something like that to it. I think that Corp should not be killable on an Ironman, in my opinion, and I think it should just kind of be handled like Zulrah, where they said, all right, we took too long to do this, but we're finally going to update it.
I don't like that idea, because then if it's not really ever killable in Ironman anymore, what are you going to do with all the people who done 4,000 kills for an arcane?
Well done for abusing it, that's about it.
Yeah. Like, same thing that they did people who abuse Zulrah, nothing.
But the difference is, what you're saying makes it sound like you're not going to be able to do Corp anymore.
Corp at all, yeah.
So that
shouldn't be killable on
That's
Ironman,
making discontinued items.
Yeah, I agree with Tyler. Like with Zora, sure they nerfed it, but you can still get the uniques. You can still get what you need.
You could still kill Corp with like brews and shit. It'd be
you said you wanted to make it unkillable for Ironman. Yeah, that's our point.
Okay, so killable but not specable. Like you can't spec.
Exactly. I'm fine with that because it is possible, and that at that point it would become, I don't want to say respectable because it's RuneScape, but like it would become an achievement again.
Nice. It's right there.
Anything else?
All right, moving on. Do you think JMod should take input from high-level clans players when creating balancing updates?
Bring back high-level forums, please.
I think the best way to do that stuff would be to kind of just have like the top 5 PVMers, top 5 skillers, and then like the top 5 Ironman, top 5 Ultimate Ironman, and just like DM them ideas on Twitter and be like, hey, we're gonna make an update that's gonna do this. What type of metas would this upset in your community? And kind of just get an idea. Because obviously,
it's hard to make people trustworthy, though. Yeah, like it's hard to find people who are trustworthy, don't leak stuff, or don't give you false information. But I do agree. Although they do that. Like I've had Kieran and Sween ask me about certain updates, and they ask people in general as well. They don't necessarily respond, but I'm sure they read through all the suggestions.
Yeah, I have to say that they have been getting way better at that type of stuff recently.
Yeah, shouts out to Ed, who's been putting out feelers on Twitter about 4CAF and the drop table. And hopefully by Monday or Tuesday we'll see some updates on that. I feel like using Twitter as a platform, using the new Reddit as a platform is supposed to do it should really get some more input into people who actually spend a lot of time on the game, probably more than the devs do playing it, because you're really making the game for the players, not necessarily for the game's sake. So talking to the people who it directly affects is always a good thing.
I do like how the devs are on Twitter, like tweeting out how do people think or feel about this and whatnot. The only thing I don't like is that the only way to actually like really reach the devs is only through Twitter.
Yeah.
I wish there was more platforms they would reach out to or be able to get contacted on.
Like email.
Yeah, they're talking about the high-level forums coming back.
I would love that. Then there's the point, like, why should only high levels get... I mean...
Well, it's because we spent the most time in the game.
It's true, but you're gonna get so many people complaining about that. I can see why Jagex don't want... No, but I mean, like, for us it doesn't matter, but I can see why Jagex are, like, hesitant to do that.
Yeah.
Plus what determined high level, because you have people with, like, 2k total who use, like, Obby Cape and, like, an Abyssal Dagger and stuff. Like, you know? High level isn't even that hard to get anymore.
Alright, so we got 2 questions left. Do you prefer the current state of the Ironman meta in terms of buying gold ore from shops as opposed to mining it, receiving pure essence from Boss Slayer as opposed to gathering it? Do you think you would prefer an Iron meta that was more focused around gathering everything from scratch?
I personally think it's more fun to like gather items. Like I enjoy buying runes, I enjoyed buying gold ore. Maybe not buying gold ore would be the best, but I really like to see gathering everything and it all just stacking up in your bank. It looks very nice. I'd like to see a different way to do smithing, but I don't really know how they could go about it because I feel like the gold ore is pretty balanced just because of how much money you need to spend per hour. Like it would kind of be cool if volcanic mine was viable for like gold ore or something, and like it would save you this much money per hour and you'd get this much, so it would be worth doing volcanic mine over just buy 50 from a shop.
Yeah, like you'd have to actually mine for the ore, even if it's not like directly mining that ore.
Living rock caverns.
My man.
Let's AFK for an hour.
I feel based on print, like, I don't mind not mining gold ore, but I do mind not mining pure essence, if you know what I mean.
Yeah.
Like, I if you look at my herb tab right now, it's just a complete stack of just shit. And I love that aspect of the game. So seeing things stack up and knowing that you earned it is quite nice. The gold ore there seems to be this kind of disconnect there, where it's like, yeah, it's there in your bank, but it's, you know, it isn't necessarily earned. You know, buy 50 and just buy it all. You know, I would, if I were to go based on principle, I would rather gather everything. So mine all the gold ore, mine all the pure essence, just everything like that. That'd be really sick.
Yeah, it makes everything more of an achievement as well. That's how early Ironman was, like way back at the start.
Yeah.
Plus you just like you play the game a lot more, if you know what I mean. It's just like I learned so much at the start of Ironman, just random methods, and it's just, I don't know, I feel like it's more of an achievement than just buying everything in shops or just killing this monster 10,000 times.
Yeah.
And then you have enough pure S.
Yep. Remove Zulrah. Remove the gold drops from all bosses. Remove Blast Furnace. Make it so I have to mine 130,000 gold ore from the mining or the crafting guild.
Yep.
Like, make me mine fucking however million essence I need. I think it'd be more grindy, but I think it'd be more rewarding as a result.
How do you feel about how Iron Girl plays Fraser's fiance?
She's the most Iron Man in the game.
Because like
most alpha Iron Man.
She would class for her own vials.
Like, she mined her own gold ore at the crafting guild, and then she made them all into bars for all her jewelry. Then she would cut magic logs for 30 mil at one tree.
It's insane.
I mean, that's a bit too
Alpha.
much. You can move around to another tree.
We are all beta compared
So
to.
basically, the capped king of Ironman.
Yeah, I mean, she
Ooh.
played a lot back then. Then she kind of stopped, but I really liked her account and how she played.
Yeah, it's a fun. It's sort of how it was intended. I'm gonna say it.
All right, what old methods do you miss the most? Kind of building on that last question.
Black checking.
Still
was
do
the
that.
What old methods do you miss the most?
I liked having to get trading sticks for construction with the teaks and mahoganies. It sounds weird, but I really enjoy that for some reason. It just made it a little more a little more grindy, I want to say, because you had to get like gem mining done. So yeah, I do miss that.
I think last time this question was asked, I said Serphelm Dagonoffs, but we kind of have that now. So I'm not too sure anymore.
Pre-nerf Zara.
Pre-Zora.
yeah.
Pre-first nerf Zora.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Zora
I
really.
mean, you know. Yes.
I would say Melee Slayer, like 2013 Slayer, where you just meleeed everything.
Yeah,
And,
not
like,
just
rain.
Slayer, PVM in general.
I
One
miss.
of, one of my
Yeah.
one of my favorite methods was exactly what Cub said. The other one was back just mining pure essence as the meta. Like, I really wish I would have loved to see, like, you'd be in the 2K total world, see everyone 2.2K total, see 40 Ironmen running back and forth between the Mage Guild, just non-stop all day and
Yeah.
night, everyone mining essence.
Yeah.
That was my first plan when Ironman came out, to mine pure essence for 99 runecrafting while
Yeah.
runecrafting on my main.
I do miss that.
Cub knew
All
me
right.
back then.
Yeah, buddy.
All right, I think this is gonna be our last question. What new Ironman variants would you like to see introduced in 2018?
0.
None.
Absolutely fucking none.
Group hardcore ultimate Iron Man.
Yes. Group tag team mode, Iron Man mode.
I think group Iron Man would be interesting, but I feel like it's just gonna divide Iron Man in general even
Group
more,
Iron
and
Man's
it's
gonna be-
gonna end up being dead.
Group Iron Man is for
Yeah.
mains who don't want to make Iron Man.
I don't understand the point of Group Ironman because it's just gonna be a bunch of streamers going to Sarah with like rune skims and
Plus,
trying to get the first Sarah hill in the first week.
And then that'll be
plus
it.
there's this reasoning that people give for wanting new methods. It's so they have a fresh chance on the high scores. I just want to say
Yeah.
that doesn't make sense to me at all. Parker started late. He never played RuneScape before. Even Higer was like not even close to max a few months ago. Like, you can definitely still catch up on high scores, so I don't think that's a valid reason.
Yeah, I started a year and a half, and now I'm nearly top age. I'm 26 at the moment, so.
Yeah, like Lasby and I started like a month apart. I think he started a month before me, and he's ranked what, 4?
Yeah.
And I'm ranked like 20.
And there are still loads of spots on different 200 mils you can get if that's your reason for wanting.
No,
new high scores,
there's like not. There's only really like one, and it's farming.
then, yeah. The
Just
farming's
start
farming's free. Like if everyone just does Tithe and goes for the farming,
go.
then it should be fine. Yeah.
All right, I think that's gonna wrap it up. I want to say thank you all to everybody who joined us for this. It was like a pretty long one, 2.5 hours or so. Thank you for joining us on the Ironman Podcast. If you're gonna give a shout out, if you're interested in joining Erudite, you can apply on our forums. There's a Twitter page and all that. Yeah, you can follow us on Twitter. Our Twitters are linked down at the bottom. I'm Solo Parker at OOSRS. You guys want to put yours?
They already know mine.
Fine.
Though.
Yeah,
It's on the screen.
There you go. Thank you for joining us.
Just guys, see you in like 2 years.
Bye.
Love you all.
See you next year. Yeah.
Yeah. Bye.
Goodbye.